All right. We are live. Let me put on some delicious music. Here, I think that this will do nicely as our background audio. Let me check the channel to ensure the health of the stream. And let some of y'all folks start rolling in here. All right. Yeah, stream is looking all right. Hey, we got Ms. Mazarai. I think every time that you comment, I usually get your name comically wrong. Here, let me actually go get my laptop so I can share an excretion to X, formerly known as Twitter, and let people know that I am streaming there as well. Hey, we got Ms. Mazarai. I think every time that you comment, I usually get your name. Okay, comically. I got it. Here, let me I forgot the login password for my Twitter account. And honestly, I don't have it in me to get it back. So I'm just kind of like, hey, I guess the laptop now is the Twitter machine. Okay. Here we go. Let me pull up a link for everybody. Please play Halo 2 on Insignia. Insignia is on my bucket list for this year. Getting Insignia working. So I'm just kind of like, hey, I guess the laptop now is the Twitter machine. Or not Insignia working, you know, just like, I guess, logging into those servers. Here we go. Let me pull up a link for everybody. Okay. I am ranking every Halo weapon. Live. Come join. All right. Hashtag Halo. There we go. That seems like fun. I am ranking every Halo weapon. Live. Did you do the ODST weapons yet? I did, but I may revisit a couple of my choices. There we go. That seems like okay, let me put the laptop there because we are. You can hear a second LNG. That's a problem. Oh, it's because I had the stream going. Sorry. Okay, should be fine. Wait, where is the ODST music? Let me get that back up as well. Here we go. Ah, there we are. Some nice ODST music going. Okay. There's a couple of these that I have slept on. I'm feeling a little bit refreshed, you know. Feel like I'm back at it. We can make we can refine this list a little bit is what I'm trying to say. So, okay, let me think on it. Carbine down here, right? Carbine, I'm gonna put in good because it is good. It's good in the Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer mode. I don't like the production value of it. I find it to be kind of lazy, like the way that they did it. They're just using the Halo 4 model, but they've not taken into account some of the details from Halo 4's model, such as the ammo counter display that actually does tick down in the Covenant's language. They didn't know what those holograms were, so the holograms are busted. They don't animate or anything. I find the animations to look less polished than Halo 4's animations, but mechanically, it's fine. So it stays in good. Stays in good. And I think that's where it belongs. And then the flamethrower, I am going to put this thing, the Halo 3 flamethrower, in wildcard because you can get a kill with it. It's not impossible. And if you do, it's pretty insulting to the person that got killed by it. So there we go. That's where we're going to put it. And as for the dual spiker and the spiker, I'm putting both of these in there are better options, because there honestly are. Like, I will not excuse the spiker. It could have been better. What did you think about the COD style aiming down the sights in Halo 5? I hated it. I hated it. That's all I got. I hated it. I'm glad it was gone in Halo Infinite. Is the Halo 3 multiplayer, or is the Halo 3 flamethrower available in the multiplayer? It is. It is. It is on... What's the map with all of those gravity elevators? The Forerunner map. But it's at the very, very bottom of that map. Yeah, Construct. Construct, that was the name of it. But, yeah. Okay, so we're going to be ignoring these. I don't know why dual needlers are put in Halo 3, because you can't dual-wield needlers in Halo 3. Same with dual plasma rifles. I'm treating those as ODST weapons. You can't dual-wield an ODST. And the plasma rifle in ODST, it's pretty much just a reskin of the plasma rifle. Speaking of which, why do I have it down here? I should put it right up here next to the Halo 3 plasma rifle, because it's identical in terms of stats. But is the Halo CE plasma pistol overcharge the only one in the series that does damage and not just EMP? It does not EMP, the overcharged plasma pistol in Halo CE. The reason actually that I have it up here is because it can carry. It can carry a legendary run. Though, on second thought, I think I'm going to swap out Great with the Halo 3 plasma pistol, just because this one introduced the EMP ability. Where this is simply great, you know? Like, the Halo CE pistol, I don't think, is the bedrock for all future iterations of the plasma pistol, as much as the Halo 3 one was, with the EMP ability. But Halo CE plasma pistol is the true GOAT. Truly, truly the GOAT. But we could probably get this bad boy started, right? I'm looking through the list here, just doing one quick run through of where I've got everything put. I feel like there's some guns that are missing, but I could be completely wrong. I'm gonna put, to be honest, I want to put the Halo 3 assault rifle up into good, but at the lower tier of good. And the reason why is because it's pretty decent at stripping brute shields, or not brute shields, but brute armor, as Ventual Vadam demonstrated in his video. I think that it is a great starter weapon for social modes, and I just think it does the job well. It's not great, it's not important, but it is good. And by extension, I think that this should also go up there. God, and then the Sentinel Beam. We'll throw things around near the end of this. The Halo 2 Brute Plasma Rifle is missing. Is it? Oh, well, if the Halo 2 Brute Plasma Rifle is missing from this list, then we could count this as a stand-in. I get... it's good, right? I don't personally like the Brute Plasma Rifle. The rate of fire is a little bit uncontrollable for me. I tend to overheat it too often, and it becomes a bit of a liability. I'm not very good at controlling its bursts. But also, you were using the Brute Plasma Rifle from ODST as a placeholder. Gotcha. Okay. All right, guys. Let's start with the Assault Rifle. the Halo Reach assault rifle. In my personal opinion, the Halo Reach assault rifle, it is good. I think it's good. It's a good weapon. Not only is it good, just, mechanically speaking, I think that it is probably right, like so there, in my mind, I separate the assault rifles into two different camps. There's the Halo 1 style assault rifle, which is like, it's almost like an SMG, in terms of its function. Then there is what Halo 3 started, which is the low magazine count assault rifles. Both of these weapons are the social starter weapon. And out of the 32-round magazine assault rifles, I'll count Halo 5 and Halo Infinite in there as well, even though those are 36. I think that Reach struck the best balance for how a low magazine count assault rifle should be balanced. This thing felt good to use. The sound design for it was excellent. It was not overbearing. It was not too soft. It was just right. Animation quality for it was awesome. I really like the model for it. And in terms of social modes, it did its job perfectly. It encouraged you to use your melee attacks, use your grenades in concert with the weapon. It was a decent weapon to start out with, but of course you did need to upgrade if you wanted to be better at social modes, which encouraged you to branch out of your comfort zone, pick up new stuff, trade it out for weapons that you found. Exactly what a social starter weapon should be, Decent weapon to spawn with, but you should probably trade it out once you find something better. And then as for campaign, I mean, it was a decent assault rifle in the campaign. I'd love to resume watching the ranking, but I'm currently interred with work. I'd be intrigued to see a future ranking system covering SPV3 weapons. Don't let me keep you from work, Andrew. You do what you got to do, buddy. For campaign, I'd put the Reach AR in bad, LOL. I wouldn't put it in bad. I wouldn't put it in bad. Because if you're going to be playing on, like, easy or normal, the Reach AR is fine, Well, okay. No, because the Halo 3 assault rifle, it at least is pretty decent against making brutes vulnerable, where I don't think the Reach assault rifle has that ability, right? Here, you know what? We're going to put it in good, but just below the Halo 3 assault rifle. What do you think? I'm gonna keep it here. Reach's AR is a good weapon to use. Feels nice in my hands, but I always hated the way they made it look compared to the other styles. It was definitely very different looking. It was very, it almost felt like a prototype for the Combat Evolved assault rifle, if you understand what I mean. Like, it didn't look as compact and put together. It kind of looked very segmented. Like, you could see that the ammo counter was clearly an attachment that slotted on. Some of the inner workings of the weapon were exposed. Like, it felt like a prototype for what would come next with the Combat Evolved assault rifle, which felt very put together, very uniform. Yeah, it's very skeletal. That's a good way to put it. Okay, the Magnum. This was probably the first Magnum, if we're not counting ODST, like, in terms of, like, multiplayer functionality. The first Magnum since the original game, where it was like, hey, like, the Magnum has, like, a place. Like, it has a place again, Because in Halo 2, that Magnum, like, you had to be good with it after the patch, of course. You had to be good with it. The Combat Evolved Magnum, or that Combat Evolved pistol, it was just a great all-around starter weapon for competitive and stuff. The Halo 3 one, you had to be good with it, and even then. But the Reach Magnum, like, just out of the gate, it felt like, okay, if we weren't going to get the Halo 1 pistol back, this was probably the type of weapon the pistol should have evolved into, rather than kind of faffing about with Halo 2 and Halo 3. I don't know if anybody feels similarly. And so because of that, I will put it up in good. I will put it up in good. I think that it is a pretty good weapon. Any objections? Could you do a review on Armored Core 6's weapons? Oh, I don't know enough about Armored Core 6. I don't actually have it. Unfortunately. It felt like a way for them to make it feel more like COD with all the attachments. Its art style is good in a vacuum, but it doesn't feel like it should be in a Halo game. Yeah, the Halo Reach, definitely you could tell that Bungie had been playing a lot of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare when they were designing Halo Reach, because it does feel like Call of Duty Halo, like in terms of the aesthetic look for it, like super modern military. Ugh. Okay. The DMR. So, fellas, the DMR from Halo Reach, I'm going to put it up into great. Because I do think it is, well, Yeah, I'm going to keep it in great. Because I do think it's a great weapon. I think that the sentiment that it's overpowered is an incorrect one. Because a lot of that comes from people who jump into the title update on the MCC and play precision starts only. And so they, from there, say that the DMR is overpowered. I remember playing Reach on the 360. This thing was not overpowered. It was probably the weakest precision weapon Bungie had ever done. And it, unfortunately, wasn't a very competitively viable weapon. Like, it could not hold, a competitive tournament for Reach, just because there's too much nonsense going on with it. The way that Reach was kind of designed was very anti-competitive, with the armor abilities and everything, which is kind of unfortunate. And then Title Update came in, but the problem with Title Update Reach is that, for better or worse, Halo Reach's sandbox was built and designed around the way that Reach just was. And you can't come in after the fact, after the game is done cooking in the oven, it's released, it's balanced the way it wants to be, and then just make a couple of weapons in the sandbox way more accurate than normal. Like, that's going to create a ripple effect, which is kind of going to disrupt the way that the game plays. And I find that Title Update Reach is not very fun. It's not the best way to play Reach as a result. It feels very unbalanced. And I wish that there were ways on the MCC to play non-title update modes in matchmaking, because I think that it does the DMR a disservice. But I am going to put it in great just because it's, like, it is an important weapon for you to find, but not, like, capital I important. Like, it's not an iconic weapon in the same way that the Halo 1 pistol was, Ugh. But I do really like the DMR. I think that they wanted to bring back the Halo 1 pistol, but they couldn't, They already had a Magnum right here. They wanted to bring back the idea of, like, a precision weapon that shot in single shots, and so they invented a new weapon called the DMR, and because it's a UNSC rifle, they made it bullpup, they made it look like it was in the same technology tree as the assault rifle and battle rifle, so there's a bit of design continuity there. It's a good-looking Halo weapon. It also helps that it sounds good, too. This is still my favorite look and my favorite sound design for the DMR across all the Halo games. They should have adjusted all the weapons instead of just the precision ones. Well, the problem is that takes a lot of time. Like doing an entire top-to-bottom sandbox rebalance, because there's so many ripple effects. You can't just tweak a couple more weapons. You'd have to reevaluate the entire sandbox to make sure you don't accidentally make something too powerful. Yeah, it's just a mess. I don't think the title update was good. Reach should have just been Reach, you know? Okay, the shotgun. So, guys, here's a little factoid about me. I liked the Living Dead playlist quite a lot in Halo Reach. In fact, more than Slayer, more than Big Team Battle, more than Invasion, Living Dead was my go-to playlist in that game. I played more Infection in Reach than any other Halo game in the series. I love Infection. I love it to death. And the Reach shotgun, in my mind, is the perfect Infection weapon. I think it was perfect. The balancing of it, the design of it. Reach Infection is still the pinnacle of that mode for me. And not for lack of trying, by the way, because I did get a lot of enjoyment out of Halo 3's Infection. Despite the problems, I do think that there were some good nuggets in Flood mode from Halo 4. Halo 5, of course, I thought was really good fun. Halo Infinite's is a crime, but Halo Reach's Infection for me will always be the peak. I have a lot of really good memories from it. I think that this version of the shotgun was perfect for the mode. Just the range of it, the damage and everything, the speed of the reloads. So if it's okay with you guys, I would like it to be an important, but I'm going to keep it in great, okay? Because I don't want to, like, overstep my boundaries a little bit. Halo didn't have a dedicated mid-range weapon before the DMR. Dedicated mid-range. You mean like it was designed almost exclusively for just mid-range? I can kind of see that. I mean, I think that you mean like it's not good at close range. It's just kind of designed for mid-range. I was wondering how I'd eat today with $5, but then I saw the LNG streaming, so here you go, champ, you earned it. Kyle, that's very nice of you. I really appreciate the $5, but please trust me, please don't go hungry on my behalf, but I really appreciate the $5. Ironically, now I won't go hungry. Cheers, man. Somebody said, oh, it's your list. I say it's important as well. You know what? It is my list. I am going to put this thing up in important. Like, this is the icon for Halo's Infection mode in my mind. When I see the Reach shotgun, I think Halo Infection. Okay, the sniper rifle. All right, fellas, here we go. The sniper rifle of Halo Reach is pretty damn nasty. Halo Reach. I want to pull it up because I think also like looking at the view model position and everything is just as important in remembering how the weapon felt. Look at that thing. That was a good design for the sniper rifle, right? I love this sniper rifle a lot. I really like how tactical the scope looks. I like the extra details that they added to it. They made it is that like modern warfare like look, you know? If Call of Duty 4 kind of infected Halo and kind of covered the sniper rifle with a bunch of tactical stuff on it. At the time, I thought this was probably my favorite look for the sniper rifle, but there is one thing that bugged me when I was younger about it. Halo 2 and Halo 3's reload sound for it, you can hear it in your head, right? The shh of the magazine being dumped and then chink of the new magazine being put in, that little like clink sound. It was very, very smooth, very snappy feeling. And Halo Reach took on a more, I guess like a realistic, like click-clack of the magazine being put in. But as a result, I do think it doesn't feel quite as good. Like, I know it's like, it's audio, it's all subjective and stuff. It's just that reload. I like the look of it. I think the sound design for it is incredible. But the reload, it's not quite as that chink sound of the new magazine being put in. I miss that sound a lot, and I don't know why they went with such a softer sound. Birthday was yesterday. It would make my day if I got a happy birthday from Mr. LNG. Mr. Nowhere, I didn't know it was your birthday, dude. Also, thank you so much for the $50. Mr. Nowhere, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. I hope that you had good celebrations. My wife's birthday was only a couple of days ago. Hi. Fellow Aquarius, she says. I hope that you had a really, really great happy birthday, man. What did you do for it? Did you have a cake? Pizza? Cakey guy. Okay, that's enough rambling about the Reach sniper rifle. The way that it works, if I remember right, didn't the Reach sniper rifle specifically, it was anti-material in Reach the way that they balanced it, so they tried to make it good against vehicles, right? The bullet ricochet was peak when you have to consider the sniper. Yeah, the ricochet was pretty nice. Yeah, like just the Halo Reach sniper rifle, I think, was all in all like a pretty damn good iteration of the weapon. Halo 1, 2, and Halo 3 sounds were from a stock sound library, but they didn't realize how iconic it became. Yeah, they just, that's the thing about using stock sound effects. The point of them is that they are, they're the stock sound effect. They are the sound effect for the thing, That, the door creaking stock sound effect that is in, like, every single movie, like, that's the door creaking sound effect. And so for Bungie to pick such a unique, specific stock sound effect for reloading, it did, at least for the Halo community, become synonymous. It was such a, it was the sniper rifle reload. So obviously Reach made the right choice to do something a little bit more realistic, a little bit more unique sounding, but I don't know. I miss the old sound. Fellow Aquarius, LOL, just a chill dinner with my mom, and I had a chocolate chip cookie skillet. That sounds amazing. Did she make it? And I'm glad it was chill. Did you get anything interesting for your birthday? Had a mission designed for it. The one with June. Yeah. I think that the sniper rifle, like the Halo 3 sniper rifle, that thing was fantastic in multiplayer, but I don't think that Halo had really had sniper rifle moments, if you know what I mean. And you could tell with Reach that Bungie really tried to, no pun intended, send out their run on the Halo series with a bang. In regards to the sniper rifle. And I think that second mission, or not second mission, it was the third mission, right? With June, where you're stalking along the cliff sides, it's clearly a love letter to truth and reconciliation. They're clearly trying to evoke the same memories. And I think that they did the sniper rifle a lot of justice. So I'm going to put it right up here in great. The Choco Chip a cookie scarret, says my wife. I'm late. Where are we? Says Frozen Fire. We're still on Reach. Okay. The grenade launcher. Guys, the grenade launcher from Halo Reach. I'm going to put this thing in the upper tiers of good. What do you think? Like, is it... I'm not sure if I would say it's great, because I do think it takes so much skill to use, and if you pick it up in the multiplayer, you're still not guaranteed to get kills with it. But I do think what makes it good is that EMP secondary ability, the ability to bounce it and stuff. I think the design for it was really snazzy. It was like the big new gun, I remember. I remember seeing like pre-release material, and it was the, that Halo Reach grenade launcher was there, and everyone was like, what the hell is that? That's a new Halo gun. Went out to eat at a nice restaurant, and my present was the dinner itself, which is fine since it was a really nice restaurant. I'll be hanging out in real life with some friends this weekend, so I'm feeling pretty good. Dude, Mr. Nowhere, I'm glad to hear that, man. You're taking care of yourself, then. That's awesome, dude. What are you and your real-life friends planning to do? Poor man's plasma pistol EMP? I wouldn't say that. I think that that's too demeaning of the Reach grenade launcher. Okay, the Reach rocket launcher. This is one where I do think also Bungie tried to send out their rocket launcher with a bang. The missile pod was cut from the game. They brought back the lock-on ability to the rocket launcher. They had a lot to kind of make up for with the Halo 3 rocket launcher, which felt just like a little bit boring, at least compared to the Halo 2 one. They gave it a completely new model because they had, more polys to work with. And the Reach rocket launcher looks freaking awesome as a result. Like, I don't know about you guys, I'm putting this thing up in great. Like, they did good with the rocket launcher, in my opinion. And then we got the Spartan laser. Guys, the Spartan laser in Reach is pretty great. I'm not sure, though, if I like it as much as the Halo 3 Spartan laser, and I don't know why. Because, in theory, this is badass. And, correct me if I'm wrong, you could scope with the Halo 3 Spartan laser, right? But for this one, they added a little targeting thing on the side of it. I guess to kind of justify the zoom function. Like, the idea is supposed to be that you're looking through that thing, but something about it. And it's not... I couldn't tell you what it is. Like, it's still great, but the Halo 3 one, maybe it's just the fact that it was so new in Halo 3. I'm going to put it up in great because it is still great. Like, it is still, like, kind of dangerous. We just hang, we play things kind of loose, LOL. Oh, gotcha, so you guys really are just chilling. Everyone's just relaxing, basically. You could scope in Halo 3, gotcha. This Blazer wasn't given any good segments that truly showed off how good it was. I think that might be what it is. Because Halo 3 spawns you with it in one of the missions, and it's the first time that you see it. And so it's kind of like, and there's a vehicle right up the hill, so it gives you the ability to just unload into it. Like, yeah, Halo 3 set up a hero moment for the Spartan laser, whereas Reach, there wasn't really ever that hero moment, Relaxy guy, says my wife. Do you do Halo Reach MCC lobbies with subs often? I do not, but I should. The wife has been pressuring me to do that. And she's right. Played Infinite for the first time a few days ago, so I have to say, WTF is that energy sword animation. Which one? Because the energy sword has some pretty decent animations in Halo Infinite. They're a little bit on the stiff side, I think. But they're pretty good. Expressive, at least. What bothers me a lot about the Infinite sword, actually, is that the layering seems bugged or glitched. You can see that the energy effect off of it, like the kind of the glow that it emits, is accidentally rendering behind the sword rather than in front of it, as well as I think it's slightly misaligned. So if you look at the energy sword's blade, there is a slight crease or gap between the energy sword's blade and then the glow effect that comes off of it, and it makes it look very, like, awkward and kind of bugged. The plasma launcher was classic and unique feeling. The plasma launcher had a hero moment, I remember, in the campaign. Okay. Target locator. How are we feeling about the target locator, guys? Mr. Nowhere, how are you feeling about the target locator, dude? I don't know about you guys, but this thing belongs up in great. The target locator, like, I can't think of, like, any specific moment in the campaign where you'd need it, you know? Because it's so situational, but there is an extreme charisma to the target locator that is very hard to explain. The one where you pull it out, there's no turning on animation like in every other game. There is, when you take the energy sword, it's just the hilt, and then he, like, thrusts it forward, and the blade crawls along and activates. It's very quick, though. And there isn't, like, a gas emission that's left behind, which does look very odd. It deserves props for the hijinks you could go up to with friends. That's true. That's true. Yeah. I've accidentally killed many a friend in the Halo Reach campaign during co-op. The time where you get it in the campaign, and then there's the Wraith down the hill, or the 2 Wraiths. And my friend, who has the sprint armor ability, he just takes off down the hill sprinting because he wants to board the Wraith because he likes doing that to take them down. And I've already called in the artillery strike, and so I just see, like, the tiny little red X as he disappears into a series of fireballs. The target locator is just a COD score streak. I wouldn't say that because, well, it's not a kill streak. Like, you can't earn it in the multiplayer. In fact, actually, it wasn't until the MCC when you could finally use it in multiplayer, because it was just a campaign exclusive weapon for the longest time. You know what? We'll put it in good. We'll put it in good down here. What do you think? Oof. Excuse me. The Captain Sentinel Beam. Was there a Captain Sentinel Beam? Was there a golden Sentinel Beam? I feel like it never hit what I wanted unless it stood absolutely still. Well, the target locator, the issue with it is you need to really, really, really be good at anticipating enemy movements. So, like, if you see a Phantom already slowing down and parking, you know, and, like, its doors are beginning to open, don't call in the airstrike at the Phantom, because by then the enemies will already have left the dropship, and they'll be making their way over to you, and they will have left the bombardment zone. So you've got to kind of predict where the enemies will be almost 10 seconds from then. It fired a blue laser. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that, and if I did know that, I completely forgot that that exists. It was in Firefight 2. It was in Firefight 2. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you're right. Okay, the HMG, the turret in Halo Reach. This turret, I think, statistically is better than the Halo 3 turret, right? Like, it's more lethal, more accurate. I think that, doesn't it overheat though? Like, when it's attached to its tripod, and then when you take it off the tripod, that's when you can fire it continuously. But even if it might be better than the Halo 3 turret, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know why. It was that fucker, Isaac Hannaford, that artist. He's the one who came up with the artwork for this new turret. And I asked him, I was like, why? Why did you guys get rid of the minigun look for the turret? And they were trying to go for something more realistic. And I understand that. And Isaac Hannaford is really talented. And the aesthetic of Halo Reach is really cool, the super militaristic look. But That is a sin that I don't think I can forgive, is redesigning the Halo 3 machine gun turret to look boring. They also appeared in Halo Infinite. Yeah, those golden sentinels. I friggin' liked those things. Okay, I didn't know that there was a secondary. I'm gonna have to replay Halo 2. Or at least replay the sections of Halo 2 with the Sentinel Beam. Where do I have the Halo 3 turret? In here. I've got it up here in good. Here, I'm gonna put it down here, because it is good. It's good. But I've got beef with it because of the redesign. What is your favorite turret, Mr. Nowhere? Okay, guys, here we go. The needle rifle. I'm going to be putting it in great, because it's pretty great. What's really cool about the needle rifle is, well, it's a needle rifle. Like, it's probably the first time that we've seen, like, Covenant conversions. In fact, there's a lot like that in Halo Reach, where it's like, almost like different models that are clearly branched off from similar technologies within the Covenant. So you got the Needler and then the Needle Rifle, where they both share similar technology but different functions. And then you had the Plasma Rifle and the Plasma Repeater, where they both had like the same holographic symbols on them, same blue shell casing. So there was a little bit of technological continuity there. But clearly they both serve different functions as firearms in the Covenant. And I really like the Needle Rifle. I think it's a cool design for a weapon. I think it looks really odd, really weird looking. Frickin' love the reload animation for it. Specifically the turrets the Grunt carried in Halo 2. Oh man! Yeah, where the Grunts would hobble out and then put down those stationary guns. Dude, those turrets looked really cool in Halo 2. Hang on. Yeah, wasn't that like a weird thing that kind of never really evolved past its introduction in Halo 2? The idea of like the AI carrying around turret encampments, then setting them up. Halo 2 plasma turret, there it is. That's the Halo 2 anniversary version. That thing looks cool. I like that look. It almost looks like a fish. And then let's look at the Halo 2 anniversary version. This is the concept art for it. Okay, so that was the original, and then this was the concept art for the update. You can see they're adding like more greeble to it, make it a little bit more interesting to look at. It's pretty cool looking. Damn. Yeah, that thing was cool. Oh yeah, it's in the multiplayer, isn't it? Yeah, that thing was cool. Unpopular opinion maybe, but I liked the Plasma Repeater. We'll get to the Plasma Repeater. I like it too. But, okay, the Plasma Rifle from Halo Reach. Here's the Plasma Rifle. This thing is pretty good. I'm going to put it in the upper tiers of good, because I think mechanically it was probably the best of the post combat evolved plasma rifles. But obviously it's not going to be as good. In my opinion, though, this is just me being subjective, the redesign to make it almost completely symmetrical, I mean, not completely, but almost, you know, like, you guys have seen the memes where the plasma rifle looks like a bird looking at its own reflection in a puddle. That really came from the Reach version of it. Here, let's... Halo Plasma. In fact, actually, I remember my wife, before we even got married, she said she did not like the design of this gun. And I can't remember why. The Plasma Rifle. That it's on a what?
Oh, what gun?
This thing.
It looks like it's gonna break.
You think it's gonna break?
Yeah, any second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
like a lobster claw.
It looks like a bird that's staring at its own reflection.
It looks like a lobster's claw, too.
She says it looks like a lobster claw. It does look like a lobster claw.
I don't like it because it just feels like that's gonna snap.
Oh, like that feels too flimsy?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. She doesn't like it because it feels too flimsy, basically. Like, she is worried that, like, the top half will just snap off. Which I can see that. Halo CE. I don't know about you guys. I like this design for it. I like the strip right there in the middle that goes down. And I really like the orange inside of it. I like that contrasts against the blue. Because orange and blue are on completely opposite ends of the color spectrum. So when you put them together, they look really nice together. Like they complement each other. Or I guess complement by contrasting against each other. Whereas... Yeah. I love you. The Reach plasma rifle, by comparison, I think the coloration's a little bit boring. I don't like how it's like almost gray, which does fit like the aesthetic of Reach, but I don't know, it's just a little bit too desaturated. The grip is too thin. The reflections on Halo CE were so alien-y. They definitely were. The one in the Halo TV show actually looks pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten like a close-up look of it. That looks pretty cool. Yon, says Mr. Nowhere. Yeah, I don't mind the look of that thing in the Halo TV show. That's pretty cool looking. And then there's also this one, which was for Project Contingency, which just, like most Halo fan games, never came out. My wife keeps giggling back there. Yon? Okay. So, mechanically, it is, I think, off the top of my head, better stat-wise than the Halo 3 and Halo 2 versions. But I like it a little bit less than these guys. I'll put them in the middle.
That gun looks like a guy
doing a... Really?
Yeah,
That's what it looks... Oh, because of the little fins in the back?
Popeye when he does.
Yes. Here, let me show you the meme. Plasma rifle, bird reflection. Look, babe. Look, baby. This is what everybody says about the plasma rifle. Look, they say it just looks like a bird looking at its own reflection.
So true.
See? You can see it there. There's its wings back there. It looks like it's looking at its own reflection. What do you think? No heat meter, though. Rest in peace. The Project Contingency models look rad, though. They do look rad. They all look rad. All those, like, Halo fan games, they usually knock it out of the park when it comes to models. In fact, in some areas, I'd say they do better than some of the official stuff, like, I wish that thing was the plasma pistol that we could pick up in Halo Infinite. Rather than the blue one, I wish that was the plasma pistol for Halo Infinite. That looks cool, right? But, okay, we are now at the plasma repeater. So the plasma repeater, what I think is really cool about it is that it does look a hell of a lot like the plasma rifle, but it's been, like, transformed into something that is a bit more rifle-esque. You know, which is ironic because it's called the plasma repeater, not the plasma rifle, but Like, look at the holographic symbols on it. You can see continuity between the designs and the technology. Same colors of the metal, same colors of the canopy, shell, whatever you want to call it. I freaking love just like the design of it. It's a really cool looking gun, and most importantly, it still feels super, super alien. Like, it almost looks like, see this curve here? It almost looks like it's supposed to kind of rest on the shoulder of the Elite. Like, rather than being kind of like a buttstock that you put against your shoulder, this I almost interpret as it's supposed to rest on the shoulder of the Elite. I freaking love the circular hand grip thing. Just like a really odd alien looking weapon. And I think that we all fondly remember the venting, the heat sink. Just like mechanically not a very unique weapon. In fact, I think that there probably could have been something more creative they could have done with it to separate it from the plasma rifle. Because if I remember right, the reason that it exists is the plasma rifle is really good at stripping shields, and that's about it. And they wanted an analog to the assault rifle for the invasion mode, where it's a plasma weapon that you can use as your assault rifle equivalent. So they came up with the plasma repeater. I think that they could have done more with it mechanically, because as a result, I just don't think it sticks out that much. Like, it doesn't do enough to kind of earn its place in the sandbox. I think aesthetically, it's on point. It's awesome. I freaking love that thing as a new piece of Covenant technology. But mechanically, I don't know. It just doesn't have an identity. So I am going to put it just in good, if that's okay. Bottom tier of good. Because it is, like, just good. Like, it's fine, you know? Okay, Plasma Pistol and Halo Reach. The Plasma Pistol and Halo Reach, is this now the time where we want to talk about which version of the Plasma Pistol is our favorite? Which do we feel is the more balanced version? Or more, like, quintessential version of the Plasma Pistol? The Reach version or the Halo 3 version? Because the Halo 2 version of the Plasma Pistol, no EMP, crazy tracking abilities, not that good against just killing people. Halo Combat Evolved version, super good at killing people. Like, you know, just go crazy tapping that trigger, and it can carry you through a legendary campaign. Then Halo 3 dialed it back and introduced the EMP ability. Now it is a multi-purpose device for stripping shields, turning off vehicles and stuff. And then Halo Reach did a couple of balancing tweaks to its homing, got rid of dual wielding and stuff. What do you think about it? It's slightly more powerful than the Reach version. What do you guys think? I think the Halo 3 and Reach version feel the same. Favorite design? BR from Halo 3 needs to be S tier. I don't care. Where do I have it? Don't get me wrong. The Halo 3, it is up there. But I'm not sure if it's quite as important as the Halo 2 version, like just culturally for Halo. I guess we could put it up in great, the Halo Reach Plasma Pistol, because it does feel great. In fact, I was thinking there should be another tier, which is this is going to be the dumbest, most petty, great, but I don't like it. What do you think? Here, we'll make this gray. Wait, no. Wait, hang on. Here we go, right here. I'm gonna make this thing gray, and it's gonna be great. But I don't like it. What do you think? Best assault rifle design? Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't think there's been a bad assault rifle design. I like them all for very, very different reasons. God, that's a tough one. I could not tell you. I could not tell you. I think I use more often the plasma pistol in Reach than in Halo 3. Okay. Here's something I gotta ask you guys about, because this is something that I didn't even know was like a detail people cared about. Here, hit plasma pistol from Halo Reach. Oh, perfect. Look, there's a comparison right here. So, in Halo Reach, this little fin on the top was introduced. Here. If you guys can see this. See that little fin up there? This is what it used to look like. And some people apparently hate the fin that was introduced in Reach. And that's it. Like that's the controversy. Do you like the fin or do you not like the fin? I'm personally indifferent to the fin. I feel like the fin adds a little bit more detail without breaking the silhouette, you know, that the plasma pistol is known for. Like, compared to the Halo 5 version, where I think that thing teeters on breaking the silhouette of the plasma pistol. Like, that's too far as a redesign for the plasma pistol, in my opinion. Because you need these segmented parts. They can't be all together, kind of like this looks. But I feel like the Reach plasma pistol, that little fin, adds just enough detail. I never noticed that fin till now. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of like my take as well. Like, I didn't notice the fin before either, until people were mad about the fin. The fin hate is equal to Sonic's quill length. Well, hey. Let's not get into that debate, because I have strong opinions about the length of modern Sonic's quills. They should be long. They should not be classic Sonic short. Listen, if modern Sonic wants to look cool, his limbs need to be longer and his quills need to be longer. Like, the only thing wrong with Sonic Frontiers' Sonic is that he looks like a tiny little baby because of how short and fat his limbs and feet are and how tiny and stubby his quills are. I would love to hear you complain about modern Sonic slight design tweaks. Dude, like, ever since Sonic Lost Worlds, that modern Sonic model has gotten progressively uglier with each incarnation. Because with Sonic Unleashed, they settled on this new kind of like, this new look that they tried doing where it was like, here's the look of Sonic in Sonic games now. And he looks a lot like how Sonic is usually depicted in CGI renders. And then for Sonic Generations, they were like, let's tweak it a little bit. And then for Sonic Lost World, they were like, let's make those quills half the length. Let's take the arms, shorten them by 25%. Same with the legs. And it's like he's gotten stubbier and shorter with each release since. And then they moved one of the quills on the back of his head up a little bit, because I think they wanted Sonic to kind of resemble the... God, okay. I could ramble for hours, and people are here for Halo stuff. So we will move on. I hate the trend that Sonic Lost World did to the modern Sonic model. Because it looked really good in Unleashed. Something was slightly off in Generations that I can't put my finger on, but I'm sure somebody else could. Maybe it was just like downgraded animation quality more than it was any serious tweaks to the design in Sonic Generations. Sonic Unleashed and Generations of the Perfect Shade of Blue, and then they changed it. Yeah, dude, I don't know what they were on with Sonic Forces. Remember where they made Sonic like that but ugly shade of blue? Like, he looked so gross in Sonic Frontiers. He almost looked gray. It was such an ugly shade of blue they chose. And then it also negatively affected Sonic Mania. The reason Sonic Mania is that just stupid, ugly, like almost lime blue, it's because that's what the color they just wanted Sonic to look like for some reason. God, I freaking hate it. Sonic should be dark blue. Dark blue. Sonic Rant is warranted. I'll tell you why they went from the Hedgehog Engine 1 to the Hedgehog Engine 2. No. The Hedgehog, that would have zero effect on the design of Sonic. If anything, that would give them the ability to create more flexibility from Sonic in upgraded engine and stuff. It's the design for some frickin' reason. They want modern Sonic to be really short, really stubby. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Here, you know what? 1 second, okay? I gotta articulate something that's frickin' annoying. Sonic Frontiers model. Okay. Because of how short they have made his quills now. Hi! My wife just came up and started tickling me. This is what he looks like, by the way. This is from Frontiers, but it's like the same stupid fucking model. I hate this guy so much. Because they made his quills so short, and then they moved one of the quills that's behind his head so that it's hiding behind this top quill. Now it just looks like if Sonic is looking at you head on or from the side, he looks like he has two fat, short, stubby quills. Where's the third one? I don't know. Sega decided they wanted to hide it. The only time you're ever going to see Sonic with 3 quills is if he is from the side like this. Any other shot, he will always look like he just has 2 ugly quills there. I freaking hate that tweak that they did. And in Shadow Generations, which is great, by the way, but the only problem with Shadow Generations is for Sonic's brief appearance in that, they're using the Frontiers model, and he has those stupid 2 ugly fat quills. Sonic Unleashed model. Look at that! Look how much longer the quills are. You can see that there is a 3rd quill there now. See, that looks nice. That looks much nicer than Frontiers. Okay, that's my... I got that out of my system, okay? I got that out of my system. I'm coming down now from the rant. The VTuber Sonic design. Dude, Infinite's graphics are good, but the gameplay is terrible. Time to kill is too high, and you can snipe people with the BR. That's not how the game is supposed to be, and vehicles are weak. I'm not sure I'd say the gameplay is terrible. I think there's room for improvement, and I definitely do agree. I think the BR-75 here, that thing is a little bit overtuned. But vehicles are in a decent place now, but I do think Halo 3 had the right idea for vehicle balancing. But that's a discussion for another day. Hey, what do we think of the Needler from Halo Reach? I'll tell you guys something. So, Halo 3 Needler. There's the view model. Okay. For the longest time when Halo 3 came out, this was the look of the Needler in Halo. Like the short little, they almost look like cartoon. Like when you think of going into a secret cave full of crystals in a cartoon series or something, these are what the crystals are going to look like. They're going to look like square and kind of sticking out of a rock. You know that cartoon crystal look I'm talking about that can be found in cartoon caves. So when Halo 3 came out, this was the look for the Needler. It looked pretty cool. But it looked a little bit cartoony. And then ODST came out, which ran on the Halo 3 engine. Needler design didn't change. That's still the way it looked. And by the time of ODST, that Halo 3 engine was starting to show its age really badly. The lack of fidelity just in general. And I remember when Reach came out, like, obviously it looked better than Halo 3, but it didn't hit me how much of a visual upgrade it was over Halo 3 until I went to I didn't have it at the time. I was only hearing everybody else talking about it while I jealously played Halo 3 Forge, because I didn't have Xbox Live. And I went to a buddy's house, and his older brother was playing Halo Reach Firefight on the Corvette map, and he was using a Needler. And seeing, like, I could not believe how much better the Needler looked in Halo Reach compared to Halo 3. Like, it was such an astonishing glow up in terms of detail. Like, I could see, like, the little imperfections in the crystals. Just crazy glow up. The Halo Reach design. That still is like a core memory in me, is seeing this new Needler and being like, holy crap, this game looks good. And it also helps that mechanically it's really good as well. The game that made needles bounce off shields, a choice so contentious that they never brought it back. The game that made the needle. Did the needles bounce off the shields in Halo Reach? Like, if somebody has their shields up, you can pump as many needles as you want, but there will never be a super combine? I thought that was only a Halo Infinite thing. Where's Isaiah? Would you be okay if we do a voice call? I've got some interesting opinions on Halo weapons. Up to you since it's your stream. What we'll probably do is, if I have some energy, we'll probably do a video call afterwards, if that's all right. I want to see if I can get through this as quickly as I can. ODST really showed off the engine's age with how many cutscenes had humans talking. Well, it's not just like cutscenes with humans talking. Like, that's not really like an issue with the engine. That's more of an issue with like the modeling, to be honest. It wasn't that good in Halo 3 and Reach for faces, at least for human characters. I'm thinking more of like the outside environments. I think of like New Mombasa looked great, but that's because it was mostly like concrete and like square buildings. Once you got into like outdoor environments, like I think of like the zoo level, where you can just see like grass everywhere. It's like you could see that there were limitations, like detail limitations that they were working within. Cake with no frosting or frosting with no cake. Oh, that's a good one. Babe.
Cake no frosting. That's what we did a few days
Yeah.
ago.
Cake with no well, what kind of frosting? No, no. Yeah, no, we for her birthday cake, the frosting was weirdly oily, and so we like skinned the cake basically. And there was just like the cake's flesh was left on the counter, and we ate the cake with, yes, I'm with her, cake with no frosting. As long as it's buttercream. Also, rain helped disguise the imperfections of New Mombasa. Yeah, and even the rain had some imperfections. Like, the rain was an effect that could only spawn near the player. It wasn't this thing that was spread out across the entire map. So there was a lot of, like, under-the-hood trickery to imply that there was more detail than there really was in ODST. But, okay, Needler. Needler time. Guys, the Needler, I'm putting it up in great. I freaking love the Reach Needler. Like, I love it. Good Needler. And in fact, like, every Needler after this is just, like, banger after banger after banger. Like, the Halo 2 Needler, I really think was the hump that the Halo series had to get over. And after this, it's just smooth sailing with the Needler. Like, every iteration of the Needler after this just ate, in my opinion. Oh, we're almost at Halo 4. I'm excited. Cookie cake is better. You all know it. You're just too scared to say it. Cookie cake's good. I assume it tastes like a cookie, right? Oh, Mr. Nowhere. Reach started it all, baby. Yeah, Mr. Nowhere, are you a cookie for your birthday or a cake for your birthday guy? When I was young, I was very picky, unusually picky with my food, and so my mom would bake me gigantic cookie pizzas for my birthday. Like just a gigantic cookie, and we'd cut it with a pizza cutter. Cookie, that's a cookie, that's called a cookie cake? Okay, guys, today I just learned what a cookie cake is. Needle rifle comeback or nah? Yeah, I think it would be cool if it came back. Okay, Spiker from Halo Reach. The Spiker from Halo Reach is like barely better than the one from Halo 3, right? I'm only going to put it at the bottom tier of good. And the reason for that is because I think that the presentation glow up that it got was really awesome. I love that the barrel begins glowing red as you fire it, like as it gets hotter and hotter. I love the brute markings on it, the higher poly count, like good stuff. I still think it's a little bit boring. Like the Spiker, I don't think has ever reached its true potential as a weapon. And it's a pity that it's not in Halo Infinite, because I do think 343 would have done something fun with the Spiker if it was there. Cake. I love soft lemon cakes, Mr. Nowhere. What do you think of soft lemon cake, babe?
Oh, lemon cake?
Yes. Like key lime pie?
That's very good. I love the lemon cakes. They're very hard to come by.
Ayo, my Shih Tzu begging me for food. I will not give in to his demand, says Durandal. Oh, dude. My Shih Tzu, I gave up trying ages ago. My Shih Tzu knows he gets the tax. Still wish Needler Melee could super combine. Isaiah, that would be such a cool badass ability if you could just, like, basically discard your Needler by shoving it into an enemy, like doing a melee attack with all of the needles on the back of it, just shoving it in there, impaling them, and then it explodes in your hand. Are you skipping Halo 4 or 5? No. I'm not. The title only says... Here, let me fix the title then. Halo Reach. Yeah, let me put in Halo 4. Okay, I'm fixing the title fillers. Maybe I'll say let's. There we go, I fixed it. Thank you for calling that out. Because we are going to be doing Halo 4. Okay, focus rifle. Focus rifle, I'm going to firmly plant in... It's good. Like, it's good. It's a hard weapon to use if you're not very good at it. I think that it is good in the hands of the enemies. I think the consistent damage output that it can do makes it a very good suppression weapon. It's just good. Like, I wouldn't say it's okay, you know, if you pick up the focus rifle, you can actually do some damage with it. But it's definitely not, like, great or even important, you know? It's just good. I do have to leave, but this was a good stream, sir, says Hell Jumper. We shall see you later, Hell Jumper. Thank you for joining us, my friend, and thank you for the $2. Could never get the hang of the focus rifle. Yeah, it's hard because you have to keep your aim on an enemy that is probably strafing and doing a lot of stuff. I'm pretty decent now at being able to, like, track enemy players, track enemy AI, because I know the patterns that players do, but back on the 360, I struggled with that thing. Because I didn't have the muscle memory yet of how other Halo players play. Concussion rifle. The concussion rifle is really cool, but it's no brute shot from Halo 3. I don't know if anybody else feels this way. Like, it was a step down, I think, from the brute shot. I also just, like, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I feel like the concussion rifle has no aura. Like, this is the Halo 4 version. There's the Halo 5 version. Or Halo Infinite's. Let me try that one more time. There's the Halo Reach version. It doesn't really have an aura. Something about it just... It's a bit weak, man. Bungie could have done better. That's at least my takeaway. What I assume they were trying to do was... So, with the plasma repeater, you've got clear connective tissue between it and the plasma rifle. You know, you can understand how they both come from the same technology tree. Like, look, these two. I can see that. And what I think they were trying to do here was there is connective tissue between it and the shade turret and the fuel rod gun. Like, they're similar colors, similar type of shell and material, but it just, I don't know. It's a weak design. That's at least how I felt. Vibes were never there. Yeah, it's just one of those things that really hard to articulate why. And it's mechanically fine. Like, it is basically the Halo 3 brute shot minus its melee ability. You know, it's fun for custom games. It's fun to push people around in. Just the vibes were not there. It was not a solid design for it. So as a result, I'm just going to keep it, I think, in, like, good territory. Maybe even it's okay. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. You always love the concussion rifle? Yeah, see, I keep going back and forth. Like, yeah, it's going to stay in good. It's good. It's good. It's a good weapon. It's not great. It's not important. It's just good. Can't do it a disservice. Okay, fuel rod gun from Halo Reach. This was the redesign. Dramatically changed the look of it from Halo 2 and 3. Halo 3 fuel rod. Perfect. Look, we got them both side by side. You can see here where it's got these crazy, like, very geometric, very segmented look to it. It's a cool looking gun. And then in Halo Reach, it became a lot more, like, compact and kind of put together. And I don't know, man. Just that Halo 2 design, I freaking love for the fuel rod gun. I freaking love this look for it. And this one never stuck with me as much. I really like the look of this thing, and I miss it quite a lot. But that's not to say that this is like an inherently bad design for the fuel rod gun either, you know? It's all subjective, I guess. How do you guys feel about it? The Reach redesign is similar language to the plasma repeater. You're right. Yeah, the little... Yeah, you're right, actually. Hang on. I'm seeing continuity. Like, you can see the grip style. It's almost identical to the grips that are seen on the plasma rifle, plasma repeater, even the concussion rifle. It's like big piece of metal with a grip that is very, like, circular, has a lot of circle motifs on it, and then a shell that is kind of like grown over the metal innards. Whereas in Halo 2, or the original trilogy, I should say, you can see it's a lot more, like, abstract. There isn't, like, a consistent design language. Like, Covenant weapons look very, very different from one another. The thing that kind of unifies them all is, like, the coloring and the fact that there are shells. But, yeah, you're right, actually. Because, look, that's totally the plasma repeater right there, and the concussion rifle in there. Yeah, there is a design language that's being established. It's part of Reach being more realistic. I miss the purple. If I remember right, I don't think it was ever supposed to be purple in Halo Combat Evolved. I think that was actually a bug. Like, it's supposed to be yellow with, like, a pearlescent sheen to it. I could be totally misremembering, though. It's entirely possible that I dreamed that. Hero, happy to be here since I missed the last stream. Welcome, welcome. Reach made it so it feels like you're not picking up a big scaly block. Yeah, probably. Yeah, okay, look, it is the fuel rod gun. It looks cool. It looks badass, okay? It is up here. Good weapon. I like the design less than the Halo 2 version, and by extension, the Halo 3 version. But I am going to put it up there. Okay, plasma launcher. I don't know about you guys. I think that this thing is kind of on the bottom tier of good. Or maybe the middle of good. Like, it's a cool weapon. And when you first pick it up in the campaign, it's a very, very exciting moment because it's like a new toy and they give you a bunch of vehicles right there to sticky onto. Just the fact that you have to hold down the trigger makes it a little bit tricky to use. The real textures are gold. Yeah, for the Combat Evolved one. It was using the Banshee's shaders for some reason. Yeah, so it was like bugged. Do you ever encounter your own videos when searching for images? Sometimes, to be honest. I've seen there's a lot of people that take screenshots from my videos and use those for other related things. So sometimes I am like, huh, that's weird. That looks like a shot I would do. And then it's like, yeah, you know what? I remember shooting this. Yeah, that's from my video. That's cool. It sounds amazing, though. It does sound amazing. Plasma cannon in Halo Reach. How do you guys feel about this thing? I think that it is... I think that it's fine, right? Like, it's fine. A problem with it, though, is... like, it... I do, if I remember right, it is slightly more inaccurate, I think, than the Halo 3 version. I could be totally misremembering, though. I also don't like that it's less bloomy than the Halo 3 version. But that's more of an issue with just, like... not an issue. It's not an issue, okay? I shouldn't say that. The stylistic look of Halo Reach is a lot less bloomy, a lot less reflective than Halo Reach, so the plasma looks a lot less hot as a result. I mean, we'll put it up here. Because it is, like, meh. Yeah. I don't know. How do you guys feel? It's okay. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's just okay. There are better options. Yeah. Maybe. And I should probably bump the plasma cannon from Halo 3 down to it's okay, too, right? Yeah, it's okay. Is it okay, or are there better options? It's a tough one. The energy sword from Halo 3. How do you guys feel about that? The energy sword from Halo 3, I'll be honest, I like the look of the Halo 3 one better. I like that it looks white hot in Halo 3. Where with Reach, they really dulled it down a little bit. The activation animation, like the animations for it across the board are a step up. But I don't like the energy sword dull that much. Halo 3's energy sword, my goat. I'll put it up in great, because it is still an energy sword. It's still great. I don't know how you guys feel. But we're almost on Halo 4. The gravity hammer. Okay, guys. The gravity hammer from Halo 3 should probably be put in good. Because it is good. But there were some downgrades that came with it that prevents me from putting it in great. Your self-propulsion has been severely diminished in Halo Reach. You can't do as much with it for speedrunning tech, for movement tech. Griffball suffered as a result due to the downgraded physics and stuff. Like, what is cool, though, about the Reach gravity hammer is the detail of Halo Reach. Like, in Halo Reach, when you swung the gravity hammer... Here. There are these little things here, and they're jets. And so what you're doing when you swing it is you're activating, like, basically rockets to assist with the power of the swing. And I think that that's really freaking awesome. And then it also helps that they kept the same sounds from Halo 3. So it sounded powerful, it looked powerful because of the flames. It's just a pity that it was mechanically downgraded from Halo 3. There was less you could do with it. Like, it was more of a melee weapon in Halo Reach than a multi-purpose mobility tool. It does look cool, though. Are we factoring in how weapons look and feel to use? I am. So I'm going to keep it in good, if that's okay. Because, like, I appreciate the presentation of it. I appreciate the audio design. It is good in multiplayer when you pick it up. But I don't like it as much as the Halo 3 one, and I don't appreciate it due to the downgrades. So maybe it should be in great, but I don't like it. No, I do, man. It's fine there. We're gonna keep it in good. Okay, guys, we're on Halo 4. We're gonna start out with the assault rifle of Halo 4. Burn the chat. We're contaminated. Uh-oh, what's going on? Love your videos and live streams, and I really enjoy that you talk about specific Halo stuff, and I consider your evolution videos peak, and I'm so excited for the evolution of the pistol or magnum. I appreciate that. I'm still working on it. One shit poster can destroy a species. Yeah, we gotta start glassing this. Man, y'all say some weird things sometimes. Halo 4 assault rifle. Guys, I'm gonna put this thing firmly in good. It is a good incarnation of the assault rifle. It is overpowered, I think. In fact, actually, here, let's put it sort of at the bottom. I think that it is overpowered and a little bit overtuned. But what I do appreciate about it is I appreciate the production value of it, because it basically what they were trying to do on the Xbox 360, which was very hard at the time, is you're making the sequel to Halo 3, right? What Bungie did with their assault rifle, here's a good comparison. With their assault rifle is they went with the prequel route and they made it look very skeletal and kind of like prototypey. And then with Bungie, they're making a sequel to Halo 3. So what they essentially did within the constraints of the Xbox 360 is they took the silhouette of the Halo 3 assault rifle, like kept it exactly intact, but added detail within the silhouette to really bring it out a lot. And I think that they did a fantastic job with the Halo 4 assault rifle. It looks really, really good. And then the sound design, I also think, was quite excellent for it. I think that it was let down by the 360 hardware, also the limitations of Bungie's Halo engine. Because I don't know if you guys knew this, Halo all of Bungie's Halo games, I don't think they actually supported echo and reverb. It was like a thing that Bungie essentially had to like trick. So if you're outside and you fire the pistol, go inside and fire the pistol, it's the same exact sound. And Halo 4, unfortunately, I think the sound design for it was honestly better than the engine it was running in. So as a result, the Halo 4 assault rifle, because it sounded so aggressive, so meaty, so realistic, it sounded very artificial and very processed, because the environment wasn't reacting to it very organically. And I would be super keen to hear what the Halo 4 sound asset would have sounded like if it was ported into like the Halo Infinite engine or the Halo 5 engine, which did support reverb and like proper sound occlusion for the environments. Are we talking pre or post patch? Probably vibes, I guess. I remember it mostly post patch. But I think that Halo 4 made a very strong first impression with how meaty the assault rifle sounded. Very, very, I liked that chugga, chugga, chugga sound of it. All right, let's go on to the Magnum of Halo 4. The Magnum of Halo 4, I think, was a good weapon. Like, it was just good. It was basically the Halo Reach Magnum, just minus de-scoping. It used the exact same animations. It looked even kind of like a slightly tweaked model, I guess. No, it was like an original model. It was decent. It was good. It was a solid sidearm. I think it's probably like currently the best sidearm you can spawn with in Halo 4 multiplayer. In the campaign, it was pretty decent. At least in the missions before you began getting access to like Promethean light rifle, DMR, battle rifle, etc. The Magnum's decent in Halo 4. It's good, you know? Now, the battle rifle for Halo 4. This thing is a nasty, nasty piece of work. Prior to the big balancing patch, the DMR was the thing that really dominated Halo 4's multiplayer, and in the Turbo update for Halo 4, they dramatically nerfed the DMR into the ground. And then as a result, the battle rifle kind of came out on top, and as it sits, I think Halo 4's battle rifle is the most overpowered version of it in the series. You can get headshots without actually hitting the head. It is nasty in Halo 4 multiplayer. So I'm going to put... What do we do with, like, great, but I don't like it? Like, this is great, but I don't like it because it's so great. Like, this thing was bonkers powerful. I like how the Halo 4 battle rifle looks, but I don't like the sounds. Yeah, I don't like the squeaky sound that it has. Like, it almost sounds like a cricket chirping, but very, very loud. Okay, the Halo 4 DMR. I like the Halo 4 DMR a lot. I don't know about you guys, but when 343 took over, you know, most things got a redesign, and the Halo 4 DMR, I think, was one of the most tasteful redesigns that they've ever done. See if there's any, like, comparison images. Here, we can... can't... Oh, I see one. Okay. So, you can see right here one of the first things that they tweaked. Oh my god, this is all over the place. I'm so sorry. You know what? That's not a good comparison image, because it's a tad too dark. Oh, here we go. This is good right here. Okay. You can see here that the pistol was separated from not pistol grip, just the standard grip. It was separated from the stock, so it, you know, kind of like takes on a battle rifle-like look. But then, What 343 does is they connect it to the grip. They kind of like woo, like they really curve out the little. I think that's a guard, a grip guard. Is that what those are called? I'm not sure. Either way, so there are a lot of very tiny changes that are going on, but they kept the important details, which is ammo counter right here with a scope. They've got the horn thing that's sticking up here. I know it's supposed to be like a sight, which doesn't make a lot of sense because it's blocking the stock, but or the scope, but it's okay. They kept that there. There's a little bit of busyness happening at the front of the barrel. It looks like a DMR, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Even though they've redesigned a lot about it, it still looks like a DMR from a distance. Like, they were very faithful to the look of it. And I respect the design of it a lot. And I also think that it sounds pretty meaty as well. It's endearing. The cricket sound for the battle rifle. So I'm going to put the Halo 4 DMR up in great. I don't know if you guys feel similarly. Like, I think it feels good to use in the game. Is it overpowered? Yeah. Halo 4 Sandbox has a lot of problems, but Halo 4 was released in 2012. There's nothing we can do about that. I like it. I like it. Okay, Halo 4 shotgun. I really hate the look of this thing. I do not like the look. Sam, I am. I'm not going to tear into it too much, okay? Because I don't have the energy to get so worked up about a design from a game that came out in 2012. I don't like that the barrel raises up here in this odd way. I don't like how geometric it's become. It's kind of like escaped away from that 21st century like tube shotgun look that Halo, or here, let me, there we go. This thing doesn't look like a shotgun to me. Like, it's got some of the details correct. Like, look, you can see the side-mounted flashlight. They understood that that's kind of what a Halo shotgun should look like. But the sights, where are the glowing sights? Why is it raised up here in this odd way? It's very greebled up, very blocky, very angular looking. It just, there isn't like a clear design there. If you were to ask a kid to draw this thing from memory, I don't think that they could. Whereas the classic Halo shotgun, yeah, it's put two tubes together and then do little glowing sights. There you go, bada bing, bada boom, you know? It's just that Halo 4 shotgun, it got too far away from the look of the Halo shotgun for my tastes. The sound design for it also I'm not particularly fond of, which I know is kind of controversial. In classic Halo, Bungie actually used a very popular stock sound effect for a SPAS 12 shotgun. And so as a result, the Halo, and the SPAS 12 has a very unique firing sound compared to other modern day shotguns. And as a result, the Halo shotgun sounds very unique. And then for Halo 4, they designed it to sound more like a traditional shotgun. Like, it's just like kind of like a boom. I think that they honestly should have gone out into the field with a real SPAS 12 rather than using a stock sound effect. Actually record a real, genuine SPAS 12 shotgun. I don't like the new sound asset for it in Halo 4. It just doesn't really look like the Halo shotgun, and it doesn't sound like I think the Halo shotgun should sound. But, mechanically speaking, it's pretty good. It's pretty good in Halo 4. For the Flood game type, I think that it was a very high bar to take Halo Reach's infection, and Halo 4 Flood mode, I think, fell short of the mark because of a couple of choices, mainly, you know, locking Flood classes in custom games so you couldn't change their, you know, what weapons they had. It pretty much killed custom games in Halo 4 because so many subtypes were made out of the infection mode. And if you can't change what the zombies are holding, that's it. Like, that's the end. You know, you can't do much now with infection. And Halo 4 did that. You can't change the weapon the Flood are holding, which is obnoxious. But the Halo 4 shotgun it was good in Flood. It did its job well. But I've got to put it in I don't like it. Because I don't like the design. I don't like the sound. It's got a good looking sprint animation, I'll give it that, but I don't like it. I like how the SPAS 12 is remembered a lot due to its design and appearance, but only 37,000 SPAS 12s were ever built in real life. Yeah, isn't the SPAS 12 apparently kind of like a failure as a shotgun? Which sucks, because it's a cool-looking weapon. But, okay, alright, here we go. Here's the saw. Alright, boys, friends, everybody, we are gonna get into the nitty-gritty of this. I really don't like the saw. It is, on paper, a great weapon. It's so powerful. So damn powerful. It's got, like, what, 71 bullets before you have to reload. It's got long-range capabilities without the need to scope. It reloads very fast, very high damage, very fast fire rate. But it was essentially built as a kill streak reward. Like, you call it in, pick up your weapon, go on a crazy killing spree, with your brain turned off. I think the sound design for it is pretty good in Halo 4. I like the sound of the saw quite a bit, actually. But the design of it, I always thought looked weird in Halo. Like, when I was playing Halo 4 for the first time years ago, and I picked up the saw, my friend was constantly talking about, he called it the saw gun, because he said it reminded him of a chainsaw or like a buzzsaw. So I was like, this thing's going to be crazy. The saw gun, what is this thing? And then I find this, and it just doesn't look like a Halo gun to me. Like, it doesn't look, the color of it doesn't seem right. The round drum doesn't seem like the kind of militaristic fantasy that, like, Halo traditionally is. And then I connected. I was like, is it called the saw because of... Did they call it the saw because of Call of Duty 4's saw LMG, which was pretty iconic at the time? Like, is this basically, new studio, we already got kill streak stuff, we got perk stuff, we kind of want to court other audiences. Halo is missing a giant, just F everybody LMG weapon. Call of Duty has the saw, let's make our own futuristic version of the saw. And so they come up with this thing, the saw, and I've never liked it. I always felt like the UNSC, at least during gameplay, them having an LMG type weapon, that's not really like a Halo-y thing. They've already got... Like, they already have a big F-off thing, and Halo did it in a way that feels very creative. That's at least how I felt. Yeah, just the saw, I've never liked it. And I know that that's very unpopular, because people really, really like the saw, and they want to see it return. But I've never liked it. I always felt like it was extremely, extremely out of place in Halo, and it felt just like, well, every other first-person shooter has an LMG. Halo needs its obligatory fuck-off LMG for people to use. So I'm going to put it in great, but I don't like it. I'll be honest. I don't like it at all. The Halo 4 sniper rifle. This thing is nasty. It's a nasty piece of work. The sound design for it is also incredibly powerful. Here, let's look up... In fact, there's this, like, really neat looking... Here, let's go back to pre-release for a second. The Halo 4 sniper rifle's got kind of, like, an interesting history to it. There's, like, some fun concept art for what it would look like when you scope in with it. I like this a lot, by the way, this concept art. There it is. I don't know about you guys, but This is possibly the coolest scope I have ever seen for a Halo sniper rifle. This is what it looked like pre-release. And that little cord is animated, so it'll bounce and sway and jingle around and stuff. And then you can see up here it's got this weird railing that kind of keeps it bolted. Like, I love this so much, this scope. And then for the final release, they gave us this one instead. They have taken the side stuff and they made them a lot darker. They completely got rid of the animated cord on the side, and they darkened all of this tech stuff up here so that it's the same color as the scope. And as a result, I think a lot of the cool detail within the scope actually kind of blends in a way that's unfortunate, because this is actually a pretty cool looking scope. My theory on why they cut that cord that was on the side is I think they did it for optimization purposes, because Halo 4 was already pushing things on the 360, and it was probably one of those things where they bought themselves a bit of extra processing power by removing a dynamic object from the weapon model. Made it a little bit easier to render in real time. I think that goes so hard as the Halo 4 sniper rifle, and it's a crime that they redesigned it. I mean, it's understandable, but I miss this thing a lot. If the Halo 4 sniper rifle launched like this probably, I think it would have easily looked cooler, to me than the Halo Reach sniper rifle. I like it a lot. I miss it. I miss it so dearly. But this is what we got in the final game. And it is cool looking. I don't quite know why they went... Well, no, I know why they went with blue. The reason that they went with blue is because a lot of the Covenant tech was, like, green looking. You know, and so, like, alien green. And then I think that what they were... Hi, baby. I don't know why I put my keys in there. And my wallet. I love you.
No.
You're a sweet pea. Actually, this thing needs to be plugged in. Do you think you got that for me? Oh, and do you think I could also have a energy drink? I love you, baby. Thank you, honey. I think that what they were trying to do is they were trying to be like, Covenant tech stuff is green, UNSC tech stuff is blue, and I understand why they went with that angle, because they were probably looking at the... They probably started with the assault rifle, the ammo counter for it, and they were like, well, that's blue. Why is the sniper rifle green? Let's make the sniper rifle also blue, just like the tech from the assault rifle. And then from there, it kind of branches out. Though I guess I'm immediately undermined by the fact the DMR in Halo 4 has a green ammo counter. I don't know. That's my theory. That's all I've got to go on as to why they switched it over to green. It's a decent looking model, even though I prefer the pre-release look for it. But Halo 4 Sniper. Here's one thing that actually does bother me about it. This is a nitpicky thing. Here, this is really clean looking, actually. I'm going to use this. Okay. Very, very silly stuff, okay? This is like, I am autistic, and I'm going to tell you something that I noticed. Here, this is perfect. Okay. When I was a kid, I liked that little, I'm not even sure what you would call this, at the bottom of the Reach sniper rifles, and by, extension, further back, also the Halo 3 and Halo 2 sniper rifle. I like that it's not just a magazine, that it's a magazine, and then this blocky, sticky, outy bit at the bottom. Like, you've got like a little bit of stuff in there, and then it's almost like a frame. It looks like the frame of a portrait of a picture. Just something about that. I love the look of that. And then in Halo 4, it's not there. It's just a magazine. It looks, to me, look, border, frame, looks kind of nice. And then it looks naked here, without that weird, sticky, outy, not sure what you would call it. Bulge uwu? Yeah, I guess. I don't know, and I struggle to articulate why my brain likes the look of that, why that makes the magazine inside of the sniper rifle feel complete. But without it, the Halo 4 sniper rifle looks a little bit naked. I feel that you could complete the look by just giving the magazine a border. And that's it. That's it. That's all I would tweak. Well, that, and I would bring back its pre-release scope. A grip. It's essentially kind of like pistol. Yeah, okay, it's a grip. I miss it. It has a decent reload sound, though. Yeah, so Halo 4 sniper rifle, it is going to go up in great. And unlike the others in Halo 4, I don't hate it. It's just great. It's a little bit too powerful, but I don't hate it. I do think, though, and this is something 343 actually took to heart with Halo 5, which is very funny, this scope is gigantic. Like, if we were to look at, this is a screenshot, from the 360, because of the scope, the sniper takes up almost 1/4 of your screen space. You can't see, there's so much is obstructed when you hold the sniper of Halo 4. And it's very funny going into Halo 5 because that view model is much further away from the screen so that the scope is smaller. But there we go. Okay. An anti-slip when pulling it out. Gotcha. Okay. Here we go, guys. The sticky detonator. Guess where this one's gonna go? Important. Halo 4 sticky detonator is a weapon that I think is awesome for Halo combat. I think the design of this thing is pretty cool, pretty militaristic looking. If not a little bit on the dull side, it probably could have used some glowing sights right there. Just something a little bit techie. But this thing is awesome. It's like in the world of kill streak stuff, I think the saw is as boring an idea as you can come up with. This, on the other hand, this is interesting because when I think of new weapons in Halo, my first thought is this gonna be interesting in custom games? It's gotta be fun in the campaign, fun in multiplayer, and also it's gotta be interesting enough that cool custom games could be born from it. Because Halo sandbox is pretty defined at this point. You got the assault rifle, you got the plasma rifle, plasma pistol, needler, battle rifle. You got all these weapons. So if you're going to introduce a new gun that we've never seen before in Halo, how are you going to make it unique? And will it become a core feature of the custom game community? Will it create the next Griffball or something? And the sticky detonator is freaking awesome. I love it so much. So the sticky detonator, the way that it worked was you'd shoot it, and then a grenade would attach itself to a surface, and then on the side of the sticky detonator, a little beep, it almost looked like the heartbeat sensor from Modern Warfare 2. That thing would pop out of the side of the weapon, and in real time, there was a motion tracker where you could see how close entities were to your hidden sticky dart, and it was up to you to then press the trigger and detonate it when people were close enough to it. You had to manually pull the trigger. It wasn't motion sensor activated or anything. So it made for not just an excellent weapon for you to get a kill with, because just shoot it at an enemy's feet and instantly detonate it. You could also lay traps for vehicles. It worked better as an anti-vehicle mine than Halo 3's vehicle mine. I have many fond memories of Big Team Battle, calling one in, picking it up, and then finding a popular warthog path, and hiding this thing in a bush or behind a rock, and just waiting for a warthog to come tearing around a corner and then detonating it. I freaking loved this thing. And there was also this iconic achievement hunter clip where if you stick it to an enemy player, it almost looks like a unicorn. So they were like sticking it to each other and like running around with unicorn horns. It just like, it's fun. It makes for fun screenshots that look really silly. It is fun mechanically. I freaking love this thing. It's important. It's important. It should come back. It's not even a wild card weapon because it's just good. I think it's good. I really, really like it, and I miss it a lot. Okay, the railgun from Halo 4. I used to have incredibly strong feelings against the railgun, because it is essentially like a free kill device. But I do think that there is a layer of fun that comes from like Rockin' Rail, if you remember that game mode from Halo 5. Where it's like, yeah, there is a bit of fun that there's like this thing that you have to charge up and the anticipation of, are you going to hit it? Are you going to hit it? What let down, I think, the railgun for me in Halo 4 is the fact that it was hit scan. I wish it was a little bit more like the skewer from Halo Infinite where it was a projectile. There was more a chance of you missing. I'm going to put the railgun, I think, in good. No, it is great, but the problem also is it's that kill streak problem of, well, of course it's great. It was designed to be easy to get kills with. I'm going to put it in good on the basis that I wish that it was a projectile weapon. If it was, I would put it up in great. Rock and Rail was in Halo 4 as well? Okay, gotcha. Well, it's like a Spartan laser. It is a Spartan laser, but the Spartan laser is already in the game, so why is it there? You know? It's just a slightly easier to use Spartan laser that is good against infantry. It's just one of those things where, you know, I wish that a layer of skill was added to it by making it a projectile weapon. Like, there is a risk that you will miss. Okay, the Halo 4 rocket launcher. This thing I am going to put on par with the Reach rocket launcher. Same design, same general look, same general feel. It's fine. There's this odd, like, screech sound that it makes when the rocket leaves the barrel, which is a little bit hard on my ears. But other than that, it's, you know, it's great. It's the rocket launcher. Okay, the Spartan laser. The Spartan laser in Halo 4, it was a bit of a step down, I think, from Halo Reach. Like, it keeps the exact same model, and it, you know, it's a rocket launcher. It's mostly the sound design, actually. The sound design for it was not quite as powerful. Here, let's, come on. Or Halo Spartan laser comparison. Yeah, this is good. Okay, can y'all hear it? You guys can hear it, right? Okay. So very powerful feeling. But then you come over to Halo 4. It's missing something. Something doesn't sound right. It's a little bit undercooked, you know, in the sound design. And it's actually a problem that I think reaches its peak in Halo 5. I think the Halo 5 Spartan laser is just so sad. Here, let's put back on that ODST music for you all. So the Spartan laser, even though it is still just as good, just as powerful, I'm going to put it in, I think, great, but I don't like it. And I'm sure, like, somebody's going to take this out of context and put it on, like, shit Halo says, and then everyone's going to pretend to be offended or angry or whatever with no context, but target locator from Halo 4. This thing is a little bit weird because this was like a very it's not even like a weapon, it was just situational for the campaign. And you guys want to know something interesting about the target locator? Remember that portion in the campaign when you call in that missile and then you have to guide it to that Forerunner thing? That was actually a scrapped kill streak reward in Halo. It was exactly what you think it was. It was the what is it called? The Hellstorm? No. Crap, what's that kill streak in Modern Warfare 2? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but yeah, they were prototyping it. It was the kill streak from Modern Warfare 2, where you just take out the laptop, call in the missile strike. You have to guide the missile yourself, and it did not make it into the multiplayer, but the code that was left over, they used it in the campaign for that one moment. The Predator missile, that's it. Yep, it was a rip-off of the Predator missile. I'm gonna put this thing in wild card, to be honest, because it's just like it's not a weapon, you know? It's just a moment in the campaign. So I'm going to put it in wild card. The Halo 4 LMG. This thing is the Halo Reach design that I told you I don't like. But they've also changed up the animations, the model, or not the model, the animations, the sound design, and it doesn't feel as, like, badass to use anymore. It does feel kind of like a big step down, but it is undeniably good. It is good to use this thing. So we're going to keep it up in good, okay? Like, if you see this thing in Halo 4, pick it up. You're going to get some kills with it. The carbine. The carbine from Halo 4. The carbine from Halo 4, I am immediately going to put up into great. It is a solid redesign of the carbine. It's not my favorite look for the carbine, but it is a faithful redesign that respects where it came from. There's a lot of cool details in it. I do wish that it emitted gas when you reloaded it, but that was probably cut for performance reasons. I do wish the transition between walking and sprinting was a little bit better, though, because it is bugged for some reason. Okay, the Storm Rifle. Guys, the Halo 4 Storm Rifle, it's okay. No, it's good. And the reason I'm putting it in good is because it is, you know, like, you're not gonna... There isn't a risk that you're going to lose the fight, like with dual maulers or something, you know? It's fine. What I don't like about the Storm Rifle is its design. Like, where's the plasma repeater? Here's great. Great. What I like about the plasma repeater is you can clearly see the Covenant technology in it. It feels like it was branched off from the plasma rifle. It's got the same holographic markings that the Covenant used to depict overheating in their weapons that do overheat. Like, it's good. It looks Covenant-y. This, though, it's missing something that is Covenant-y, you know? Like, the The rotating barrel thing here, I don't mind that too much. I actually really like this long barrel here because it reminds me a lot of the carbine. Like, I almost feel like there is a, you know, and even the stock, it reminds me of a carbine in terms of technology. But I don't know why there isn't, since it's an automatic weapon, where is, like, this holographic display to communicate, you know, the overheating mechanic? Because that's a thing that Covenant weapons do. So it just, for some reason, broke tradition. And then it has that odd scope thing, or, like, pop-up thing here, where it's like, that's weird. That looks like a UNSC rifle. Like, why is that there? Why did the Covenant need that? That's a UNSC thing, you know? It looks like a blue assault rifle.
I love you.
I'm actually fine with the storm rifle design. Something's missing from it, though. Yeah, it's just, I guess, uncreative is the best term that I would use to describe it. It's a very unambitious, uncreative design for a Covenant weapon. It's like this. There's an aura that's missing. You know? You're making the successor to the plasma rifle. What's this? This has aura. This has aura. This doesn't really. It's just kind of boring looking. Very bland, very boring, very safe. But it is fine. Maybe I should put it in It's Okay. It looks like a pulse rifle from Destiny. Which pulse rifle? Don't the storm rifle and the assault rifle have 100% same time to kill? Maybe? Yeah, I'm going to put it in It's Okay. Okay, the plasma pistol from Halo 4. I think we all agree that it was a massive step down. And part of the reason that it was a step down from Reach is because it was a loadout weapon. It was going to be overpowered if they didn't nerf your ammo. A bigger crime to me than what they did to the plasma pistol, like, ammo-wise, was what they did to its sound design-wise. Here, let me... Sound assets. Weapons, I think? I think this is where it's hidden. I can't remember if it's hidden in plasma rifle. Maybe? No. That's not where it's hidden. Okay, you know what? Let's just back out. Let's do this. This is a little bit easier. I was looking for the raw sound effect for it, but these will do. That's plasma rifle, plasma pistol, fully charged shot. That's the sound that the plasma pistol of Halo makes. That's, you know, I don't make the rules. That's what it sounds like. And for Halo 4 to kind of come in and be like, no, that iconic sound that this weapon has been using for a decade, it's no good. And they replace it with the most generic, crackly, like, it's just, like, generic energy weapon overheating sound effect. Very boring. Oops. Nothing was typing. You know what? Nah, we'll move on. You guys know what I'm talking about. I very, very much dislike the sound effect for the plasma pistol in Halo 4. And more than the design for it, it was the sound change. Or more than the ammo issue, it was the sound change that really made me hate that thing. Because the sound of an overcharged plasma pistol is burnt into my brain. It's a core memory. Isn't it a stock sound effect? It is. It's, crap, what's it called? High high frequency energy modulation, I think, is the name of it. And interestingly enough, it is, I think it's the sound that the energy shield uses. You know, the energy shield's like, boop, you know, and then it's fully charged. Well, that sound effect keeps going, so it's boop, and it turns into the hum. And that's what the plasma pistol uses. It uses the tail end of the energy shield recharge sound. And it loops it. I could be misremembering, though. Yeah, but, okay, Needler. The Needler from Halo 4. It is the Halo Reach Needler. It is the exact same model, but with different colors. Let me see if I can find an image of it from Halo Reach. I mean, I think you guys just, like, trust me. Okay. None of this is helping. That's what it looks like in Halo 4. It's cool. That's a cool look for it. I like the dark look of it. It reminds me a little bit, actually, of, like, Combat Evolved's coloration. You know, they're kind of, like, returning to that look for it. Because by the time of Halo Reach, it almost took on this almost like wood-like color, like the very light brown. So kind of going back to the dark blue look was kind of a retro, you know, for the Needler. I like the look of it. It's a decent look. And it also helps that it was a very powerful weapon. I do think I'm going to put it in... I do think I'm going to put it in good, close to the front, because it does lack in the ammo department just because of how powerful it is. No, you're right. It's nasty. The Halo 4 Needler was nasty. What I don't like, though, is the AI can super combine you in Halo 4. All they need to do is stick a couple needles into you and you violently explode. That was an ability that Bungie did not allow AI to do because it's annoying. Like, it's fun for you to do it to the enemy, but it turns out it's not that much fun when the enemy can do it to you. And I think Bungie was correct in their assertions, because one of the worst aspects of Halo 4's AI combat loop is that they could super combine you back. So, okay, let's move on. The beam rifle of Halo 4. It's great, but I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because the redesign. Here, let's take a look. So this is the beam rifle. And I theorize that they were looking at the focus rifle when redesigning the beam rifle. I think that they saw the colors of it. I think that they saw the general shape, general silhouette, and they wanted to do something very, very similar. I don't like the look of this thing, though, because to me, at least, that's not, like, the beam rifle already exists in Halo, and that's not it, you know? Like, the storm rifle, at least that was new, you know? Like, that was a new weapon. But that's what the beam rifle looks like. It's like this crazy, like, triangle thing. What is this? That's not a beam rifle. Why is it called a beam rifle? You know? It's just one of those things where it probably should have gotten a different name, and then I would dislike it less. But just because it is using the beam rifle name, I don't quite get it. I don't get the redesign for it. Other than that, production value for it is great. It has great animations, great sound design in Halo 4. It's a little bit too strong, you could argue. But yeah, like, it's great, but I don't like it. The concussion rifle. Okay, the concussion rifle in Halo 4. This is very odd, and I can't tell you why I feel this way. It has slightly more aura in Halo 4 than it did Reach. Here's the Halo Reach one, and then that's the Halo 4 coloration. Something about it in Halo 4 sticks in my mind a little bit more vividly. And I couldn't tell you why. It's just one of those irrational things. I think the one from Reach, just, it lacked a certain aura. Halo 4, I think the slight recolors brought a little bit of personality out, probably covering it in these little techie accents, these glowing decals. It has a ammo counter? The Halo 4 concussion rifle? Does it? I think it is the exact same model from Reach. Maybe because everything around it has less aura. No. Like, that's mean. I don't want to say that. I do genuinely think that the gold and then all of this little techie stuff looks really nice. Because you can see with Halo Reach, it's like a dark blue, almost like purple, and so it doesn't stick out as much. Where with Halo 4, they were like, just green, keep all of it exactly the same. It's the same color of green across it, and let's add more glowing bits here and there. And I think it pops more. It looks a little bit more techy. This thing could probably look really cool if you changed the green to, like, cyan. Yeah, I think that the recolor brought the design out a little bit better. That's at least me. And the concussion rifle, it's fine. It's good. I think a lot of people, they get really caught up on it because they think that it's going to be like a fuel rod gun, like they're going to pick it up and go on a killing spree with it. And that's not really what the concussion rifle is. The concussion rifle is like the fun, like goofy, like push somebody off of a cliff with it weapon, push enemies away from you weapon. It's a fun goof off thing. Like, it's a wild card. That's the way that I see it, at least. Oh. Yeah, it has some design continuity with the fuel rod gun. And then, speaking of the fuel rod gun, here's the new fuel rod gun. And by new, I mean it is the Reach fuel rod gun. It's just the fuel rod gun from Halo Reach, but for some reason the fuel canisters aren't glowing. I do think that it is a step down from the Halo Reach one. I don't think the darker colors, I don't think, serve it quite as well. And as a result, like, it's obviously, like, still good, you know? It's the fuel rod gun. Feels great to use, feels awesome to go on a killing spree with. Fuel rod grunts are always hilarious to deal with. It is just good, but I'm going to put it behind the Reach one. And interestingly, actually, here, do you guys want to see something actually interesting that I just remembered? That actually explains quite a bit. Okay, the images are not online. Halo 4 Needler, then. Let's see if maybe we can go to the Halo 4. Here we go. Let's see if anybody has put the pictures onto the wiki. Probably not. Pre-release, Halo 4 almost got the Halo 5 Needler model. And same with the plasma pistol. What is speculated to have happened was, like, why they wouldn't put it in was because of basically resource limitations on the original Xbox 360. it was probably too complicated of a model for them to implement, so they just stuck with the lower poly reach model and then waited for Halo 5. Yeah, so... Okay, either way. Plasma cannon from Halo 4. It is... fine. Like, it's okay, right? Not too much to talk about. I don't have strong opinions about it in Halo 4. And then finally, the suppressor. Guys, the suppressor. There's better options. Even in the Promethean levels. Like, come on. Come on. Are you going to pick up a bolt shot or the suppressor? Because I know what I'm going to be going for. In the Promethean levels, you're going to be using the light rifle. You're going to be using the light rifle as your primary precision weapon. And if I had to choose between a bolt shot and a suppressor as my secondary, without skipping a beat, I'm going to go for the bolt shot. There are much better options than the suppressor. I think that the suppressor, like something that also doesn't help the suppressor. So I actually really like the look of the suppressor. I think that that is a cool looking Forerunner gun. It's got the Promethean design motifs and everything, but it is a cool looking weapon. I've actually got like a little model of one. But a big problem with it in Halo 4 is that it was... Remember before how I mentioned that there was going to be an SMG in Halo 4 initially? Well, the SMG was cut from the game, and the suppressor basically stood in as Halo 4's submachine gun. And I think that it missed the mark a lot. And I think some of the reason why it missed the mark is the design for it does not give submachine gun. It does not give close range submachine gun. It feels like it should be a more powerful weapon than it is. I think that the mechanics of it are pretty boring. Like you're holding like the Forerunners, the beings that made the Halo rings. This is one of the weapons from the height of their power, and it's a submachine gun, you know? Like, just a very boring direction to take. And I think that it rightfully got kind of bullied into self-improvement for Halo 5. Also changed the orange lights to blue. Well, the orange lights to blue thing, that is... you know, that's just, it's a Promethean weapon, so it's fitting the Promethean look. The bolt shot, guys, Halo 4's bolt shot. This thing was very overpowered in multiplayer. It was broken. It became such a problem because the bolt shot, it's a pistol. It looks like a pistol, right? Well, if you hold down the trigger for it, it will turn into a shotgun, and it'll basically combine half of its magazine into a shotgun blast that works at close range. And that is pretty cool. But it's broken for multiplayer, you know, because you can just spawn with it. Where the F is the trigger, well, I mean, you know, it's an alien weapon. It's an alien weapon. When it comes to the Forerunner stuff, where's the trigger? I'm like, don't worry about it. It makes it feel more alien. It actually reminds me a lot of... what was that Forerunner pistol thing from Halo Legends? Halo. These things. It reminds me a lot of like those things. I'm not sure whatever happened to those. Because I think even when they were testing Halo 4, it almost had this appearance, the bolt shot. Either way, the bolt shot, I like it. I think it's a really good weapon in Halo 4. It's a pity that Halo 4's multiplayer had that loadout system, because I think if you ignore the loadout system, in isolation, the bolt shot is a pretty creative weapon. I think it's great. I like it a lot. I do wish that it looked a little bit, I guess, a little bit more segmented, a little bit more, like, less kind of compressed together. But that's mostly just nitpicking at this point. It's fine. The light rifle. Okay, the light rifle in Halo 4, it was so, like they were close with the light rifle. I wish that the, it's just like, it was caught between a rock and a hard place, the light rifle, because there was already the carbine, the battle rifle, the DMR. What else could you possibly add? You could try doing the commando thing where, well, it's a fully automatic scoped weapon. But that's not what the light rifle is. So what the light rifle tried to be is, it's burst when you fire from the hip. It is single shot when you aim with it. And I just think there just was no room for it, unfortunately, to stand out. That being said, it's still a good weapon. Like, it's still a good weapon, you know? It is not creative, I think, mechanically. It does not do enough to stand out, but, you know, there really wasn't much it could do. And as a result, it's just good. Like, it's good. You know, you pick it up, it's going to carry you through many battles. Those are my thoughts. The scatter shot. The scatter shot is a great weapon, but it's a great weapon that I don't like. And the reason I don't like it is because it's just a shotgun. It is just a shotgun. And it's not even as good as the Halo 4 shotgun. You know? I don't think it's a very creative addition to the sandbox. I think it was very meh. I do not like the design of it, because it's doing that thing, which this isn't, by the way, this is not a 343 issue. This is just a thing the broader video game industry began doing around this time, which is make your art resemble what players expect the weapon to feel like. So during testing periods, the scatter shot, or not even the scatter shot, I don't think it existed at that time. Forerunner weapons were very abstract, very alien, very unique looking. And during playtesting, new players were very confused about how to use the weapons because they didn't know what they were picking up. So they reined in a lot of their Forerunner stuff. And listen, if you've played any shooter on the market, look at that. What do you think that thing is? What do you think it is? How do you think it performs? It looks like a shotgun. And that's the art doing its job. It's deliberately designed to look like something that would feel like a shotgun. Is this actually some of the concept art for it before they finalized the design? Here, I wonder if Halopedia has any interesting pre-release stuff. Sometimes they do. Nah, it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like they have too many interesting pre-release materials. Okay. I don't like the scatter shot in Halo 4. I think it could have been more creative. And I think eventually what it became was the trying to show chat the Halo 4. Oh, look. Yeah. Yeah, look, there's an ammo counter right there. 6 shots, right? Okay, so that's just like a weird alien design thing. It doesn't look like it's animated. And then that's a cool detail. Look at that. It's ticking down. One more reason that I think that the Halo 4 version of the concussion rifle is more interesting. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, that's where I think the scatter shot goes. It's great. I don't like it, though. Maybe we should even... It's not great, really, is it? No, it is kind of great. Okay, the binary rifle. This thing is nasty in Halo 4, and I think even Halo 4 fans would agree that it's too much. It is too much, okay? This thing, you don't need to actually have your crosshair on the enemy to get a kill. You can aim off of the enemy, and your bullet will still curve towards the enemy, and no matter where you hit them on the body, you get the kill. This thing was very overpowered, the binary rifle. Too much. Too much. It was far too powerful, and it got a much-needed nerf with Halo 5. And then the incineration cannon. The incineration cannon, I do not think is nearly as good as the, like, it's not nearly as balanced, I think, as the rocket launcher. I think it is very overpowered, and very much, like, it's not healthy for combat, I think, because of how powerful it is. It's not very fun to fight against because of how powerful it is in the hands of an enemy. But it is undeniably a wild card. Like, there's a chance you're going to kill yourself with it. It gives, like, Halo Combat Evolved rocket energy type vibes. In fact, the Halo Combat Evolved rocket launcher, maybe we could put that in the wild card tier. What do you think? We'll come back to that later. Halo 4 Energy Sword. What I really like about the Halo 4 Energy Sword is how bright it is. Like, they've returned it to an almost white color, and I appreciate that quite a bit, because I didn't like how dark it was in Reach. But what I dislike is I dislike the shape of it, actually. And this is going to sound very, like, odd and kind of, like, nitpicky. So the reason that they did this, and it makes total sense, if you notice, here is, like, the old shape. You know, you got that kind of iconic curve around the hilt coming towards the wrists, sort of. And with Halo 4, you'll notice that that curve around the hilt is almost completely deleted. Like, look at how much more aggressive it is in previous games. And then you come to Halo 4, and look, it's, like, just barely coming around. Like, it's a lot more top-heavy, I guess is the way to describe it. And it's a design that almost, like, it's funny. The Prophet's Bane feels like the final form of where this was going, because, like, all the weight and all the mass started to transfer to the blade itself and away from the curve around the hilt, which eventually results in there just, like, is no curve around the hilt. It's all blade in the front, away from the user's wrist and hand. And that's probably why they redesigned it this way, the Energy Sword. They took away a lot of the curve around the hilt, is because if you think practically, there's less risk of, like, mocap actors, cosplayers, and stuff, like, you know, realistically accidentally slicing their wrists on this thing. I still don't like it, though. I don't like how top-heavy it is. I like the gigantic curve around the hilt as the look of the Energy Sword. I don't really like how top-heavy it got in Halo 4 and 5. And those are my thoughts. So, and then here's another thing. Okay. In Halo 4, when you ignite the Energy Sword, there's a bug. And it's something that I don't think that they noticed. Or maybe it's not a bug. Maybe it's just straight up an oversight. So when you ignite the energy sword, there's a big flare, right? Like, boom, the environment lights up. And then there is that soft glow. And it started in Halo 3. You turn on the energy sword, huge boom, lights, big light source. And then we settle down to a soft glow in the environment. That carried into Reach. In Halo 4, they had to turn off the glow. Because, you know, a dynamic light source eats up a lot of resources. Halo 4 was already kind of pushing things. But so they turned it off. But they forgot to turn off the pop-up light when you ignite the energy sword. They forgot to turn off that one too. So in Halo 4, when you take out an energy sword, there is a big flare of light around you, a dynamic light source that then it blinks out of existence when it's supposed to transition to just like that static dynamic light source where it's like a consistent sustained level. So in Halo 4, go into like a dark corner or something, take out the energy sword. For a little bit, you'll be surrounded by light, and then it's like a bug. It just suddenly turns off, even though you've still got that sword out. It's really awkward looking. And I think it's because of an oversight. They forgot to also remove that energy sword ignition flare. And also, in the multiplayer, for some reason, whenever Halo 4's audio codec gets overloaded, the energy sword ignition sounds are cut from the game engine. So the energy sword will frequently just go mute. You can hear that bug quite a lot on Halo 4's version of the pit. The energy sword is almost always completely silent in Halo 4's version of the pit, which is very annoying. So I'm just going to put it in like... No, I'm going to put it in good. Because it is good. Like, if you pick it up, you're going to get a lot of kills. But it's just the design of it that I don't quite like. The bugs and lack of polish I don't quite like. LNG is just a psyop. He just wants us to notice tons of little details and inconsistencies. Yeah, basically. Okay, the gravity hammer. The gravity hammer in Halo 4 is undeniably great, okay? But I don't like it. I do not like the sound for it. Similar to the Spartan laser, there is a huge, what do you call it? A glow down? What's a glow down? What's the like the energy or the gravity hammer's va-boom sound effect whenever you swing it is seared into my brain because of how powerful it is. Va-boom. And then you cut to Halo 4 and what you get is squeak. It's like, I can't imagine going into like audio design and like we're gonna make the most powerful gravity wave magnetized thing ever, and it's just like squeak. Okay, so there we go. We finished up Halo 4. Halo 4 got some well-deserved greats, in my opinion. The bolt shot, in fact, actually the bolt shot, I am going to move it up the list, because I think the Halo community does not respect the bolt shot enough. The bolt shot is a really cool and creative weapon. And I wish that more people appreciated it, and unfortunately they don't because they think of the loadout system and how broken it was. The bolt shot is a great weapon, and it's a shame it never came back. We're on, oh boy, Halo 5 now. Alright, fillers. Oh, man. We can do this. The reason I'm saying, oh, man, isn't because I hate Halo 5 or anything. It's because there's a lot. There's a lot to get through here. Okay, let's start with the Halo 5 assault rifle. Here, I'm going to add a new list. Hi, cutie pie. Wait. What is this? Okay, good. New. Good, but I don't like it. The reason why is because the assault rifle from Halo 5 goes in here. It is good. It is very good. But I don't think it should be that good. No. Wait, no, this goes up in great. Sorry. Okay. Our first... Sorry. Oh my god, I was thinking of another weapon. Okay. The Halo 5 assault rifle is great. And I don't think it should be great. I think that it is too powerful in Halo 5. Technically good, but not Halo. It's great in Halo 5 multiplayer. But the problem is... So, in the Halo 5 beta, the assault rifle had 32 rounds per magazine still. It still had, like, crazy range, though, because Halo 5 was also, like, I think the most dramatic shift in how Halo plays. Because it introduced to players aiming down the sights. So you aim down the sights, weapons become more accurate at a range, and so they've got to make, you know, you have a bit of like a, you know, a reason to aim down the sights more. Otherwise, it's just like an aesthetic thing. So in the Halo 5 beta, it's 32 rounds per magazine. You can aim down the sights to make it even more accurate. It's pretty damn accurate, but thankfully 32 rounds, it's not a lot of rounds. It's enough to where it is a little bit annoying, a little bit sweaty. And then for the final game, they give it 36 rounds. They bump it up by 4 extra rounds just to make it easier to get kills with. And then later on in Halo 5's lifespan, they give it a headshot multiplier, and they reduce the recoil. So it's like, it's very accurate, has a headshot multiplier, has a bigger magazine count, and it's also around the same time where players started to complain that Halo multiplayer was starting to get sweaty. And some of that is definitely due to skill-based matchmaking, but I think also some of it is due to the fact that players can now spawn with a consistently medium range to maybe short, long range automatic weapon. So even if you aren't getting kills with it, you're consistently putting out damage at a range that is longer than normal, and your shields are always under fire from those long ranges. And when people talk about, like, oh, well, what about the BR? The BR is so overpowered. What about the Halo 1 pistol? Here is the difference. I'm glad you asked. So the battle rifle, you can't just hold down the trigger, you know? The battle rifle, you have to manually press the trigger each time. And it is a 3-round burst, but that 3-round burst is very predictable. You know that when someone fires the battle rifle, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a consistent rhythm to how it fires. Same with the pistol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know that you can time your evades. You can hear it in your head and bob and weave to the weapons. With an assault rifle, though, it's just like it fires so rapidly that there is no pattern to it. If somebody's burst firing, it could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like they could be firing any amount of bullets at you at any time. So there isn't actually a rhythm to kind of dance and bob and weave to. It's just a hail of bullets in your direction. And as a result, it puts a lot of pressure on you as a player. So everybody is cross-mapping each other with this long-range thing. You're constantly taking damage. There's no way to predict what the firing pattern is going to be. It's just chaos. And it's chaos at a range. Before the assault rifle, its chaotic nature of just you hold down the trigger and let the bullets fire, or let the bullets fly, it was contained to close range. And that's why it didn't feel as sweaty in previous Halo games. But now, with range unlocked for this thing, it's putting a lot of pressure on a lot of players at ranges that they're not used to, and it started the trend of Halo social modes starting to feel unnecessarily sweaty. So it's one of those things where everybody wants the assault rifle to be better, But when we finally got a better assault rifle, it's like a monkey's paw situation. Now social modes aren't fun anymore. And there's obviously a bunch of other reasons why it turned out that way, but I can promise you that if Halo 5 had a different assault rifle, one that was close range, it would not feel nearly as sweaty. So it is great, but I don't like it, and I think ultimately what the Halo 5 assault rifle did was harmful to the social experience, because now there isn't a good social starter weapon. So everything is basically fully automatic BR starts. Okay. The Halo 5 Magnum. So the Halo 5 Magnum, I'm going to put this thing up in great. All right? The Halo 5 Magnum, what is very cool about it is pre-release during the Halo 5 beta, it had a very fast fire rate. I forgot what the damage was for it. I remember it being fairly mediocre, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, like a boring pistol. And between the beta and the final release, they tuned it to be more like Halo 5's competitive keystone weapon. So it's got the same, well, not the same values, but similar values to the DMR, just without the bloom. And the sandbox itself is built around this as the driving force for competitive multiplayer. It's also got very aggressive bullet magnetism, very aggressive aim assist. But the low fire rate means that you're not just boom, 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 you're dead. It's just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a rhythm to it. Players can jetpack around that rhythm, anticipate, the firing patterns and stuff. And I think as a result, this thing within Halo 5 serves as a great keystone weapon. It essentially took the Halo 1 Magnum and redesigned it to work within the movement mechanics of Halo 5 multiplayer. And I think that there is a very good reason why a lot of competitive Halo 5 players remember this little thing so fondly. It was good. No, it wasn't good. It was great. It was a great weapon for Halo 5 competitive. The design for it, I'm a little bit not super fan of. Like, by all intents and purposes, it still looks kind of like a Halo Magnum, It's got the guard here. It's got, I'm not even sure what you call those, gills on the back of it. Like, it's got the scope shroud on the front. Like, it definitely, blink, and it does look like the Halo Magnum. But it's, things are a little bit streamlined. They're a little bit tacked up, a little bit greebly. And I don't like the details quite that much. I feel like it is it began to lose the look of a Magnum here. Where, it's starting to slouch a little bit, starting to look a little bit more like a bog standard pistol, but there is enough Magnum-y stuff here to where it does respect the original look. That being said, the glowing sights on the back should not have been removed. It's very annoying that the sights don't glow. And it's very annoying that you literally aim down the sights with this thing like it's Call of Duty. I don't like the aiming down the sights stuff in Halo. I don't think that has a place in Halo. So there we go. It is great, though. All right. The Gunfighter Magnum. So the Gunfighter Magnum, I'm going to put it in good. The Gunfighter Magnum I really like as a weapon. I like that it's got, I like that it's close range, fast firing, and it's got a unique trait, which is everything it does is super fast. It's got fast weapon swapping, fast reloading and stuff, so it makes it a weapon where it's kind of like a shame about the whole rec system, because it's, again, loadouts. Like, there's no real creative way that the developers can use it. Like placing it on maps, letting it be a map pickup. This thing, if you were to run around and find it in a multiplayer map, It's a great weapon to have a plasma weapon with, because you drain the shields with the plasma weapon, quick swap to the sidekick. Or, well, that was a Freudian slip there, which we'll get to the sidekick later, but gunfighter is cool. I like the gunfighter. This thing, I'm also going to put in good. The tactical, I don't know what they called it. It is clearly supposed to evoke the ODST Magnum. It's still slow firing and stuff. It's silenced, though. And it's supposed to, you know, remind you of how things were in ODST. Like, you know why it exists. If it wasn't for ODST, I don't think that this variant would have been there. I like it. It's fun. Good job. You know? Okay, the Whispered Truth. The Whispered Truth, I think, is okay, good, but I don't like it. It's missing an aura. It's missing an aura. There's just nothing interesting about this. It's a 3-round burst. When you pick it up, you get a movement boost, and you get this kind of like ugly glow on you, which, you know, makes sense because you're moving faster and stuff, but it's got a weird name. This is also, you know, Halo 5 came out a year after Destiny, and Halo 5, a year after Destiny, this wasn't present in the Halo 5 beta. It was for the final release, which was after Destiny. Suddenly, Halo 5 had green, blue, purple, gold weapon rarities and loot boxes that you could decode. Engrams, one might call them. And some of the weapons had fantasy names like Whispered Truth with, you know, perks attached to that. Like, I think that there were a lot of people at 343 that really, really liked Destiny. And so the Whispered Truth, like, it sounds like a Destiny name for a weapon. This feels like a Destiny weapon roll or something, or like a, you know, a reward after a strike. I don't think, it's weird. It's a weird weapon. It feels very un-Halo, I guess is the best way to describe it. It does have an engraving on it, which is pretty neat, but it's good, but I don't like it. Now we've got the Magnum, or the Halo 1 pistol, but in Halo 5. It is great. It's not as good, I think, as the original Halo 1 Magnum, because quite literally it's a graphical downgrade, which I'll show you guys something cool. Man, I just need a close-up. I just need a oh, perfect. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can actually see these. So in video games, there is a world model and then a first-person model. The world model is usually less detailed than the first-person model. And that's definitely the case in Halo 1. But if I remember right, the way the story goes, for some reason in Halo 1, the world model and the first-person model are switched in the game's files. Like, for some reason, all the other guns follow the same organization in the files, except for the pistol, where it's actually the other way around. And in Halo 5... it looks like what happened was when designing this thing for Halo 5, they accidentally grabbed the world model, not the first-person, more detailed model, and then built a Halo 1 Magnum from the low-poly, low-detail world model. So, in Halo 5, the Halo 1 Magnum is a graphical downgrade. There is less detail, it's less complex looking than the Halo 1 pistol. So that's an interesting bit of trivia. in Halo 5, the Magnum, or the Halo 1 pistol, when you pick it up, you get I think you get a speed boost, right? Yeah, you get a speed boost. Was it a speed boost or a damage boost? Either way, it's supposed to feel like the Halo 1 pistol. For some reason, the animations for it are incredibly stiff and don't look quite right, but I guess like that would be pretty much nitpicking, right? Halo. Here, I'll show you. So I always think of like the original Halo 1 pistol. It's very like dance-like, I guess is the best way. Like, look how smooth, look how fluid everything is. Like, it's not very stiff and jerky, you know, every motion feels very smooth and relaxed almost. Weirdly relaxed, but relaxed nonetheless. You know, not a jerk in sight. But then, if we go over to Halo 5... Hang on. Very jerky looking. It doesn't look like the Combat Evolved animation. It's supposed to be a recreation of it, but it's different enough to where I'm a bit distracted. That's not right. You know, that's not what the reload animation looks like. That's not right at all either. Look how jerky, look how stiff everything is. I feel like if you were remaking the pistol, you should 1-to-1 recreate those animations. It doesn't really matter if they look out of sync or downgraded compared to the quality found in Halo 5, because Halo 5 does have better animation quality than Combat Evolved. You know, that's what happens when you make a game in 2015 versus a game in the early 2000s. I don't see any jerk, all I see are snappiness, I guess. Yeah. So as a result, it is great. It feels good to use. I don't like that the animations were not 1-to-1. I see that they were trying to respect the original animations, but I don't think it looks quite as good. That's just me, though. Battle Rifle. The Halo 5 Battle Rifle. I've got a soft spot for the Halo 5 Battle Rifle. It is not what the battle rifle of Halo, I think, should look like. The red dot sight that it was given was actually funny enough. The first leak of Halo 5 gameplay, I remember this. I remember it like it was yesterday, in the early days of Twitter. Before, you know, Twitter was... Well, Twitter always was a bit of a monster, but before it became even worse. There was a lot of excitement about Halo 5. There was a lot of talk from 343 about how they had learned a lot of lessons from Halo 4. And that going into the next Halo game, things would be different. They'd be returning to even starts, and so people were like, well, okay, I guess things couldn't get worse, right? They already added Sprint to Halo as a core ability. They already removed D-Scope. They already added kill streaks, loadouts, perks, like, things... They're not going to add aiming down the sights, right? They wouldn't do that, would they? And then, a day before the reveal of the Halo 5 beta, a leak showed up on Twitter, and it was aiming down the sights with the battle rifle and opening fire. And the battle rifle, the new design for it, was in that little... It was a GIF. It was, like, filmed, you know, from somebody's phone, pointed at a monitor. And the first thing we saw of Halo 5, before 343 could show off the game, was somebody taking a battle rifle with a red dot sight, not a scope, not, you know, the traditional scope BRs have, a red dot sight, and aiming down the sights with it. So Twitter exploded. It was like a fire was ignited. It was like they can't help themselves. They just can't make a normal Halo game. They, like, they gotta do the Call of Duty thing, don't they? And Bonnie Ross had to come out on Twitter and be like, guys, the GIF is not the full context. Wait for us to show you what we're making, please. And then they revealed that, yes, aiming down the sights was being added to Halo 5. And it was not a fun time to be a Halo fan. It was a very dark time. Yeah, that was a rough time. That being said, I kind of like the look of the Halo 5 battle rifle. I like the colors of it a lot, actually. In fact, my favorite version of this... Here, let me show you. And it's very annoying that they changed it. So this is what the battle rifle looked like pre-release. Look how dark that ammo counter is. That's cool looking. It's almost like it's got like this deep orange glow. The 36, it's very analog, very cool, very techy looking. And then this was the ammo counter for the final release. I don't know about you guys. I prefer the darker look. In fact, I always felt that way. When Halo 5 was shown off again the following year at E3, one of the first things I noticed is that they gave it this like cartoonishly bright yellow ammo display, and I still to this day wish I could be playing Halo 5's beta rather than the final release, because I prefer this. That looks much cooler to me than this. Even if this you can probably see better, like in all lighting conditions, I think this has more aura to it. It looks more nuanced, I guess. Yeah, so the Halo 5 battle rifle, it was also nerfed because during Halo 5's lifespan, the battle rifle, it fired so fast that it almost sounded like it was just one shot. Like it was this crazy fast just chirp, and all the bullets were out in the burst. And there was a weapon tuning update in the final days of Halo 5's support, where they slowed down the fire rate so much that the battle rifle went from a must-have weapon to being, like, behind some of the other weapons. And there's a lot of people that actually feel like this update ruined the battle rifle. And if you feel that way, I think there's actually a way to return to how the battle rifle used to be. You have to use one of the rec variants of it or something like that. I felt that the battle rifle was overtuned to begin with in Halo 5, but I have a soft spot in my heart for the Halo 5 battle rifle. I'm happy that Halo Infinite returned to how the battle rifle, usually looks. But the Halo 4 battle rifle I disliked more than this design. And I couldn't tell you why. So the Halo 5 battle rifle we are going to put in... we're going to put in good. It's fine, guys. I like it. Okay. Now we are on the Halo 2 battle rifle. I do not like this thing in Halo 5, and I'm going to show you why. So, okay. The battle rifle in classic Halo 2, it has a very ugly view model. I don't know why the Spartan's thumb is crooked in this way, and why you can see so much of the palm. Like, it looks very uncomfortable, the way that the character is, like, holding the battle rifle here. And the animations for it, that's not great. That's very kind of, like, stiff looking. It's a very undercooked animation that I don't think looks that good. So I've got no allegiance to, like, the classic presentation of the Halo 2 battle rifle. Great look, but not a great set of animations. But here's the Halo 5 battle rifle animations. Nice. That was a good pull of the bolt. Look at that. That's good looking. Really good looking. Great melee. Solid presentation. What the hell was that? The way that he pulled, like, why was that so fast? It almost looked weightless there. And then the problems continue. So, okay, that's fine, you know. The act of actually scoping in, that's a cool little bit of nostalgia for Halo 5. Why was that so fast? That was like lightning fast. And it doesn't help that these like gigantic, stupidly meaty Spartan mitt. Like, look at that. What is going on here? I can't... What is this? Where... Is the hand clipping into the other hand? It's a very unpolished looking animation. It's very fast, very sudden. And the empty reload looks even worse. What's going on here? What's he grabbing? Is his finger over here clipping into the side of the weapon again? Look, it's clipping right here as well. What? Pardon my French. What the fuck is this? The animations for it are terrible looking. They look very unpolished, very unfinished. Especially considering that, like, that is so good looking. Very polished, very fluid looking. And I really like that when he pulls the bolt, they make an adjustment for the stupidly oversized Spartan mitts. He pulls it with the palm facing you so that you can see him grabbing the bolt. You can still see the bolt, where that's like a bit of detail that they just like didn't care for with the Halo 2 battle rifle. It's just this insanely fast, insanely flashy, very unfinished, unpolished looking animation. Yeah. I do not like the production value of the Halo 2 battle rifle in Halo 5. That's a very unsatisfying animation. It looks very stiff, very abrupt, and the cycling of the bolts, like, even worse, because you can't even see what the fuck's going on. And then on top of that, when they lowered the fire rate of the battle rifle, the Halo 5 battle rifle, in that update, something happened with this that broke its audio. So in the final game of Halo 5 now, if you go on and play it, occasionally aspects of the gunshots are just like missing, like certain layers of it. It sounds unfinished, and it didn't used to be that way, and I'm not sure what happened and what broke, but so feels shitty to use, looks shitty to use. I hate this thing. It very disrespectful. But I will give it this. Compared to Halo 2 Anniversary Campaign, is Halo 2 Anniversary Campaign in this? No, I don't think so. The Halo 2 Anniversary Campaign battle rifle, they got the wrong scope color. They thought in the Halo 2 Anniversary Campaign that the scope color should be the same cyan as the ammo counter, so it's got this weirdly bright blue. They remembered for Halo 5 that nope, the original Halo 2 scope is dark blue. So that's pretty cool that they got that detail right, where Halo 2 Anniversary got that detail wrong. So I'm going to put this thing down in good, but I don't like it, because it is good. It is good to use, but I don't like it. Didn't Halo 5's post-launch have like a ton of crunch? It did have a ton of crunch. I wouldn't be surprised if they just fudged it. I wouldn't be surprised either, to be honest. Okay, the Halo 5 DMR. Oh boy. Okay. Here, you guys want to hear some more me being annoying? Hey, look, that's my video. That's me. Man, I remember doing this. You know what's adorable about this? It took me so long to do these when I was learning After Effects. And now I look at this, and it's like the easiest shit on planet Earth. I did not know what I was doing, and everything that I was doing, I made it unnecessarily difficult for myself. Oof, excuse me. If I were to go back in time and redo this, like that little floaty thing, I could do it easily. But okay. Let's go over to the Halo 5. Okay, so you guys know what the DMR's animations are like, right? You know what they're like. You know how good this thing feels to use. Like, look at that. Really good, really clean animation. Super readable. Here is the Halo 5 DMR. Wait for it. Very, very fast, very kind of like, it's got that... Can you tell me what's going on? What's going on, guys? What is that big mitt doing? Can you tell me? Because I couldn't tell you what it's up to. Here, we're going to check out this, because it's a little bit less flashy. A little bit more straight to the point. And I'm betting you that he left in some of the rough animations here. There's this specific animation. It's the non-empty reload. The non-empty reload for... What the fuck is that? It is, like, just at the bottom of the screen, and it's not clear enough because of the weird posing. And I'll show you what happens. It's very odd. So, magazine... Ah, man, it happens so freaking fast, it's hard to follow. Why is he holding the magazine like that? Look at it. Look at the way he's holding the magazine. Why isn't he just... He puts in the magazine in this incredibly odd way. Like, he has to twist his hand in this uncomfortable position to put it in, which then forces him to slap it in because he couldn't put it in all the way. Then you've got this giant, like, what's the thumb doing? Why is there an index finger, like, over here possibly clipping through the weapon? It's just, the reload animation for it is this flurried mess of hands in weird poses at the bottom of the screens, and then suddenly the weapon is ready to fire. It's a very, like, unfocused, very kind of, like, flurried, rushed animation. Adjust the playback speed, my guy. It's all right. Like, hopefully you guys get my point. But what's fun is in Halo 5 custom games, you can actually slow down weapon reload animations. And I did that. I don't know if it's still the case, but when I slowed down the footage, or not the footage, when I went into custom games, I made reload speed 10%. In Halo 5 custom games, I suspect that the reload animation is busted because when he is putting the magazine in for the first time, this magazine is rapidly spinning for some reason. And I'm not sure if it's still the case. Somebody could probably verify it, but when I recorded it in slow-mo years ago, as that magazine is coming up to the weapon, it is rapidly spinning for some reason. If you go into custom games and set reload speed to like 10%, it's just unfinished set of animations. Where is the ammo counter? Like, it looks so flattened. Where's the horn, you know, the raised sight that the DMR usually has? It's just everything about this thing. Like, remember how before I was talking about how tasteful the Halo 4 redesign of the DMR was? That it felt like a Halo DMR because they kept all the details intact while modifying, you know, certain things to kind of give it its own Reclaimer saga aesthetic. They threw all that away and they made it look stupid in Halo 5. It's good, but I don't like it. But, let me go use the restroom very quick. It's probably because they thought no one would notice due to motion blur. Well, here's the thing. Halo 5 doesn't have motion blur. he sneezes. That's my little doggy. Okay. This is my theory on what went wrong with the DMR's reload animation. So, before, the DMR basically borrowed the same animation style from the assault rifle. In Halo Reach, when you reload it, it feels like an assault rifle, you know, the same kind of like general flow, same kind of general posing. And that, you know, it was connective tissue between them, but also some of it was probably saving on resources. Because, you know, animation data takes up resources, takes up, you know what I mean. That 360 memory was very limited, and so you share animations when and where you can. With Halo 5, they had the opportunity to finally give the DMR its own different animation style. They wanted to make it not look like it was doing the assault rifle reload. But there isn't much you can do with a bullpup weapon, you know? Or like a weapon in general. And so what they did to just try to make it feel different, they tried so hard, and it just comes off as looking really unfocused, very bad, just badly animated. Weak posing, weak transitions between the keyframes, lots of weird bugs and issues. Like, that's awful looking, dude. I can't even see the gun, you know? Yeah, so it's just a really weak set of animations. I'm not sure what happened there. I'd love for the person who actually animated that to eventually get in touch with me so I can talk, because I'd love to know the story. Gosh, we still got a lot to go through. Guys, it is currently like 10:30 where I am, and I'm getting exhausted. I want to hang out with my wife, so I'm not like up all night, you know? If it's alright, let's put a pin in this for right now. And then we will return to this. Halo! Oh no. Halo weapon tier list LNG. Mirror. Okay, there we go. Save, download. Okay, just in case something goes wrong. I feel like we're in a pretty good spot right now. What I will do though, if anybody remembers, the Halo 5 SMG, uh-oh, what just happened? We're gonna start the next time that we pick this up with discussing why I think the Halo 5 SMG belongs in good. Because it is. I'm back briefly. How far along the list are we? Unfortunately, Andrew, we're signing off for the night. So guys, thank you everybody for joining. I hope to pick this up next time. You're all awesome. Take care, get some sleep, or start your day, depending on where you are in the world. I'll see you guys later.